threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
Happy early Halloween.
Charles Hapgood's ready for Halloween.
Welcome to the 25th annual Penguin Bludgeon event.
How many penguins you kill? Yeah, man, we
just spent 30 minutes
Oh my gosh.
talking like Charles Hapgood.
I've been crying for like 10 of it. I have been bawling, crying.
He got real dark and weird.
Oh my gosh. He needs his own podcast.
He does.
He really
I
does
agree.
need his own show.
I agree.
Just like two Charles Hapgoods talking to each other. You know what I mean? Talking to themselves. But today is a very special day. Right, Cam?
Yes, it is a special day.
What is today?
Well, I know it's early,
Yeah.
but you guys deserve it.
You do
We're
deserve
gonna give you the Halloween special, weirdest deaths
In
in
history.
history.
Because you know what? People die every day.
Yeah.
But usually it's something stupid like diabetes or
Cancer.
cancer. Like, say, it's not even interesting.
It's all the stuff that just we all die from.
Yeah. But sometimes
It gets real weird.
it gets weird. And so we wanted to talk about the weird ones.
It's weird, like, I'm sure people died of, like, basic, bacterial
Yeah.
infections and stuff, but, like, man,
Back
some
in
of
the
the
day.
some of the brutal deaths,
Yeah.
back in the day, I'm like, geez,
yeah.
I think people would be a little more careful.
If you're going to go out, though,
Yeah, that's true.
you might as well go out.
Sometimes, though, your name's tied to some pretty
Yeah.
crappy death.
That's true.
But anyway.
But before we get to these deaths, I got to tell you about BattleBox. It is the monthly
keep you alive.
subscription box full of solid gear for adventure seekers, survivalists, outdoor enthusiasts, and casual preppers. Each month, BattleBox sends you the coolest selection of handpicked outdoor survival and everyday carry gear, all valued at far more than what you normally pay. You never know what's in the next box, but here
We
is
know.
a sampling of what users received this month. The Holtzman Clip Point Folding Pocket Knife. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
The Hybrid Light Atlas 600 Lantern.
Super bright.
Cam just had that thing on.
Blinded me.
Yeah.
I still can't see.
All this badassness starts at just $34.99 per month. They've shipped over 1 million boxes and won Best Men's Subscription Box of 2020. Our listeners get a free knife when you sign up at trybattlebox.com/casualpreppers. Get your first battle box plus a free knife when you use our code casualpreppers.
Hey, you want
So-
to waste a free knife? Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, do it. So we're gonna not do all the normal stuff today because it's a special day.
Yeah, it's special. And that stuff isn't special.
No, man.
So
Well, it is.
let's do it, people.
It is. I mean, Mad World is special. So is actually like the reviews. I like. I wanted to do
Well-
a review, but I didn't.
Sorry.
So it is what it is. But yeah, we're talking about the craziest, weirdest deaths in history.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start way back in history.
Yeah.
The antiquity is what they call it. Way, 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 way long ago. How about 620 BC?
That's
mean-
that's a good amount of time.
That is a good amount of time. You ever heard of Draco?
I have.
Is an Athenian lawmaker. Yeah, I mean, you've heard of draconian laws. That's where this comes
is
from.
this guy?
That's this guy,
Okay.
Draco, right? So this dude, he was kind of a popular
What a cool
lawmaker.
name.
But I know it's Draco. Yeah,
Yeah, call me Draco.
Yo, Draco, the lawmaker. Oh, you're a lawmaker? That's not that
Yeah,
interesting.
he ain't cool anymore.
But at one point, he was at a theater in Aegina, Greece, right? And there was so many people there that were so happy with him. They were just very, very happy with him.
Draco. Draco.
Yeah, there's chanting going on. They probably had a song like all, like at the football games, soccer games.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
they all have their special songs for their players, right?
Yep.
They probably had one for Draco.
I guarantee it.
They probably did. But at the time, the cool thing to do when you were very appreciative of somebody that was like on stage, you would shower him with cloaks and hats and such, right? But
Not roses.
no, it wasn't those kind of
Stuff like
things.
things.
It was big, heavy cloaks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Hey,
like
I got
it,
a raincoat.
Hey, I take this
I ain't
cloak.
wearing it. Just going to throw it because I love him.
And so hats and cloaks and things like that. And so he was on stage and people just started throwing them at him. I mean, it was nuts. And yeah,
He's just loving it.
he was like, this is Draco's time is now, right? And they just start showering upon him. But it got a little too much. So much, he fell down and suffocated under the cloaks and hats. He died underneath them.
How's that possible?
Apparently, there was a lot of heavy
It's like,
cloaks.
Keep throwing them on.
Yeah, I think he likes it. He's breathing hard. No, he ain't breathing no more.
He ain't moving.
Oh, well.
He's loving it.
Throw one more on top. Yeah, he died.
It's a lot of clothing.
Yeah, can you imagine that's the way you go out? I mean, really, it's the best way.
Kind of a cool way to go
Yeah,
out.
I mean, if you're going to die, like,
In praise.
in praise, yeah.
Yeah,
It's either that or having sex. Those
Yeah.
are the two best ways. But can you imagine if it was both at the same time? They're throwing cloaks at you while you're having sex. You know?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good. Anyways.
I haven't thought about that one.
Nope. That's the first time I thought about it too, Cam. Came right out my mouth on the podcast. So that was 620 BC. That was Draco.
I like that one.
Moving forward, 6th century BC. Milo of Croton. You ever heard of that dude?
I love those crotons.
Yeah, put them on my
salad.
salads. Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. He likes salad a lot. He was an Olympic champion wrestler.
Oh, okay.
Like those wrestlers back in the day were legit. I mean, I think they were tough mofos.
Yeah.
They were going hard, right?
Greco-Romano with the
yeah.
crouton.
But like I think like he was trying to show how manly he was, and he was just like reaching into this tree that had kind of been split, and he was trying to pull that sucker all the way apart. Like that was his goal. But he got his hands wedged in there so far that they got stuck. They got
No
stuck.
one was watching him or anything?
Apparently, he was just doing this all on his own. This is for
No, that's a man.
his
he ain't
own
proving anything to anybody.
He
but
wasn't trying to
himself.
get people to throw cloaks at him. He was just like, I can do this shit. I'm going to show myself I can do it. So he puts his hands in there.
Split this tree in
Yeah.
half.
They get stuck. He's there for so long he gets eaten by wolves. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, there's a bit of a dispute. They don't know if it was wolves or lions. Either way, it's not going to be great.
I guess those are in the same territory.
I guess so. Yeah.
Was it Russia?
I don't know. So anyways, Milo went down being stuck in a tree trying to pull apart, and the wolves ate him.
Yeah. I'm just trying to like stomp at him.
I can do this.
I'm done.
Yeah, so that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
How about 495 BC?
Good year.
Pythagoras. Well, he has a theorem we've all heard of, right?
Pythagorean theorem?
Yeah, he's a Greek philosopher. But one late and probably apocryphal legend reported that Pythagoras was murdered by his political enemies. Yeah, they all had political enemies back in the day.
Welcome
Yeah.
everybody.
And instead of
nowadays
just
even.
like getting on Fox News and yelling at each other,
Yeah.
they would just kill each other because it's much easier, more civilized in some ways when you think about it.
I'd actually prefer
Yeah,
it to happen that
so
way.
they were chasing him. His political enemies were chasing him. Supposedly, he like almost managed to outrun him. He's like, I got this. He's almost there. But, you know, which happens frequently, he came to a bean field.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, he's running. And he's like, I ain't running
was it a
through.
bean field or
I'm-
was it a little head rolling?
No, it was a bean
Beans
field.
coming
Yeah,
out.
no, it was a bean field. And he refused to run through it. He's like, I'm not doing it. Because he had prohibited beans as ritually unclean. So instead of cutting through the field and violating his own teachings, he stood there and got killed by his political enemies. Because he wouldn't run through the bean field. So it's too bad for Mr. Pythagoras.
Yeah.
Right?
right.
It's too bad. How about 475 BC? There's too many names here. That
I'm
going to
butcher everything. Sorry. If you're an historian,
Diogenes
give it up.
Laertius, a Greek philosopher.
Have fun with it.
He was said to have been devoured by dogs after smearing himself with cow manure.
Dogs love cow manure.
Apparently they do. He was trying to cure his dropsy. He had dropsy,
Okay.
which is apparently just edema. It's swelling in the legs. That's all dropsy is.
I should start telling people they have that.
Looks like you've got
Yeah,
dropsy.
apparently you have the dropsy. Your feet are swollen.
Yeah. So apparently cow manure was a thing you did with dropsy. You just spread it on your legs and it would go away. But it did bring the dogs in, and he died because the dogs ate him.
Bring in the dog.
Yeah. Who let the dogs out? Who?
Yeah.
That's a dumb joke. I did it anyways. 455 BC. According to Valerius Maximus, that's a cool name.
That is way cool.
That's a cool name. Aeschylus.
Ain't as cool.
Aeschylus. The eldest of the three great Athenian tragedians. He was killed by a tortoise.
How?
Because an eagle had it way above his head, and dropped it because it had mistaken his bald head for a rock. Apparently, what they would do is they would get those turtles way up high.
I know that the falcons still do that too.
They drop them on the rock and it was split open, but it was actually his head, and so he died because of that, right? But Pliny, in his natural history, actually adds that he had been staying outdoors to avert a prophecy that he would be killed that day by the fall of a house.
Well,
it kind of did.
Pretty much.
It's the turtle's house.
That is the turtle's house.
So, he kind of did get killed by a house. That was kind of a weird one, I think.
It's funny to think how many people probably got injured or killed by this thing, but they weren't famous or known. So it's just like, he's dead. He got his head bashed in.
Yeah, nobody.
It's a turtle.
Nobody writes it down.
No one looks into that very often.
I know. That's the sad thing.
It's like, you get beat to death or turtle shell.
Yeah. It's so funny because like some of these early ones I really, really laugh at. But then when we get to the ones that happened maybe 30 years ago, I'm like, I shouldn't be laughing at this.
I know.
These are like modern people. But these are all people.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
It does. It seems like we're more connected to like the more recent ones. I know. We're not trying to make light of these deaths.
But
we're
they're
honoring them by
we're honoring
having them.
That's
on
exactly
our
what we're doing. Exactly. 401 BC, Mithridates. He's a Persian soldier who embarrassed his king, Artaxerxes II.
Artax in Never-Ending Story.
By boasting of killing his rival, Cyrus the Younger. He was executed by scaphism. And he survived it for 17 days. But let me tell you what scaphism is. This is weird. Also known as the boats is what they'd called it. It's an alleged ancient Persian method of execution. It ostensibly entailed trapping the victim between two boats, feeding and covering them with milk and honey, and allowing them to fester and be devoured by insects and vermin over time.
Wow, that's...
Dude. Why between boats, though? Like, that seems like a not really the best way to do it. How do you keep boats, like, together that long?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. You look distracted over there.
No.
Cam, you doing okay?
I was trying to stop this because it's starting to play audio. I'm like, stop.
Oh,
stop.
I see what you're doing. Okay.
But did you hear it?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Good.
I heard nothing.
I was all panicking because I was coming through on here. I was like,
you're good.
oh no.
Okay, 262 BC, Zeno of Citium. He was a Greek philosopher from Cyprus. As he was leaving
Sounds like a fine element.
Zeno of Citium. Yeah. It's made from pure Citium.
It's after me.
Yeah.
Very highly radioactive.
He was leaving the school. He tripped and fell, breaking his toe. He was real pissed at this. He struck the ground, and he quoted the line from the Niobe, I come, why dost thou call for me? This is what he said. And he died on the spot.
That's what I usually say when I stub my toe.
He died on the spot because he held his breath. Because it hurt so bad. Apparently, he just held his breath.
Like he died from that.
I know.
Because kids do that. They pass out.
They do, man.
From like
my daughter did that once.
Stuff. They're like,
my daughter fell and hit her head, and she was like doing that thing where she
worked
cries
up so much that it's like
she's crying and she went out. We're like, was it from the head or was it from the crying?
I know. I
hate
crazy.
That. Yeah. That's what I wanted to ask him. Was Zeno, did he die from crying or the head? I don't know. But I'm going to start saying that too. I come, why dost thou call for me? That's going to be my new thing.
It's a good one.
When you hit your toe. That is the worst thing though. Hitting, like stubbing your toe on something.
Oh, it's the worst.
Like, I never have to hold my mouth back more.
I feel like the nerve pain is like instant, but then it's a slow burn for like 6.5 days.
6.5 days. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's not fun at all.
Yeah.
206 BC. Chrysippus, 3rd century Greek Stoic philosopher. He died of laughter after he
There's
saw
quite a few that actually died of laughter.
I know, this is really weird.
I thought that was supposed to that's the best medicine.
But the thing he's laughing at makes no sense to me. He saw a donkey eating his figs. He just thought it was so damn funny. like that's what got him. He's like, that's some funny stuff right there. He's like, just sees a donkey eating his figs. And he told a slave to give the donkey.
I can't
take it anymore. Look at that stupid donkey eating those figs. But he told his slave to give the donkey neat wine to drink with which to wash them down. And then, having laughed too much, he died.
Okay. What's neat wine?
That's
real neat.
Yeah, it's good. It's just neat. I don't know. I'm sure it has. Can't you get a drink neat?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't drink much, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I guess it probably does have something like that we don't know.
20 AD. Okay. Claudius Drusus. I know this. He's the eldest son of the future Roman Emperor Claudius.
Okay.
He died while playing with the pear. Like the fruit. A pear, right?
Yeah.
So he tossed it way high up in the air to watch him one catches. Came back, caught it in his mouth, and choked on it. Died of
I
asphyxiation.
actually saw that one. I was like,
Yeah.
that sucks. That's even recorded in
I
history.
know. We really got to write that on his death certificate. Really? We got to do
Died
it.
by pear.
Yeah. Died by fruit.
Watch I catch you, mama.
Hey, Daddy, watch this. I won't do that.
You know, I've done that when you're like throwing like a grape and it's like,
Yeah, right
it goes
down in-
right down in your throat.
Yeah, it's not good.
Don't do it with pears. Kill you.
One day I was eating just like a saltine cracker. You know how like they're so dry sometimes?
Oh my gosh.
And I had it, I just took a big bite and it was just like crumbled in my mouth and somebody said something funny and I went and laughed and it went directly in my lungs. And I'm like, I was at my dad's house and everyone's looking around. I'm like, you're doing that like panic, like trying, like I'm going to die on a saltine cracker, but I lived, luckily. I got through it.
The nearest I've ever been to death was choking too.
Is it?
And do you know Goodies? It's like a aspirin in a little like it comes in almost like a gum wrapper thing. You just rip it open and pour it in.
Oh no!
So it's
like a
snort
drink
it
mix
to
thing.
whatever you want to do.
It can get directly into your nose hole.
Yeah, I don't know why my dad even has it. It's probably from like 20 AD.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah,
but I was up at the cabin and I was like looking for something for a headache, and I was like, oh, these are more. It's powder. It's going to be quicker acting. And I poured it in the cup, and I like kind of stirred it with my finger.
Oh gosh!
And one of the bubbles of aspirin, just popped, and like that aspirin's just like it burns.
Oh my
It's
God.
acid basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, I felt like it was like 20 minutes of
Really?
I couldn't breathe. My throat hurt forever.
Was
too.
that worse than swallowing the gas?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was.
The gas, I never felt like I just felt like the gas was going to kill me.
Yeah, like the
I
actual,
choked for a while.
Yeah.
But it was the burping it up. Then I'm like, this has got to cause cancer.
Yeah, it's not good. You're gonna die someday from that. I'm
I
sure.
swallowed a bunch of gas. That was fun.
Yeah, good times. I got one more from this antiquity period, and this one might be one of my favorites of this period. 258, the Deacon St. Lawrence. He was roasted alive on a giant grill during the persecution of Valerian. So,
Man, they were brutal.
They were.
With
They were
killing people. It's super messed up.
It's insane.
Like cut them in half, like down the middle.
Yeah.
Some of them they would like roll up in carpets and just trample them to death. I'm just
It's
like,
like,
or
yeah,
rugs.
Is that, like, just kill the guy.
I know,
Don't-
it was bad.
So, anyways, like he was on this giant, he was like spit roasted basically, like a pig, right? And so this guy wrote down what he was saying. He says he joked with his tormentors. He said, "Turn me over, I'm done on this side." Okay, that's what he said when he was on the thing.
That's the best.
I know,
No
but-
better way. You're like,
Yeah, and like that is the best thing I've ever heard. But the coolest thing
burn
about
the other
that,
side.
now he is the patron saint of cooks,
Oh,
chefs,
really?
and comedians.
Oh my god.
It's like the best patron saint ever because of that
Seriously,
line.
food and comedy.
Yeah, there's
I would
nothing
want to
better.
be the saint of that.
Nothing better.
That's awesome.
But yeah, turn me over. I'm done on this side, he says.
That's amazing.
I know. That was good.
Like this is messed up, I know. But I remember like last Thanksgiving, I do not know how we got on the subject. I was talking to my brother about like I don't even know what we were talking about, but like people like getting burned at the stakes. Like could you imagine that body? It's like and it's like
Your
just,
liver
like,
explodes or something.
just, like,
Yeah.
juice is squirting
my
out. I'd be like,
gosh.
yeah, I wish I would have done that.
That's horrible. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't believe people can actually do it.
They're
or
like,
they've
yeah,
done
yeah,
it.
yeah. And then as soon as that body's like,
Yeah. Like, well, that
it looks
smells
like
kinda-
a Bratwurst just squirting
Yeah, and it
juices
like
out. You're
smells
like,
kind of good probably for a while.
I don't know if I should have done that.
Gosh. Yeah.
Anyways, there's a thought for Halloween.
Yeah.
Roasting a body.
Moving on to the Middle Ages now,
Okay.
Cam.
Middle Ages.
Yeah.
Pope Adrian the Fifth.
Yo, Adrian.
The fourth, sorry.
Yo,
Fourth.
Adrian.
He's known as the only Englishman to serve as the pontiff.
Oh.
The only pope that
one?
was English. I didn't
Wow.
know that. So
Wow.
his papacy came to an end in 1159 while he was suffering from tonsillitis.
Oh, it's
They caused pus and buildup in his mouth,
Sure.
They didn't have antibiotics or ENTs.
No.
Okay?
If
they
you would've
dealt with
been
this,
there-
they got to deal with it.
If you would have been there, you'd have saved his life.
Yeah. This is how he died.
Uh-huh.
So he apparently was drinking from a goblet
Mm-hmm.
of wine and a fly flew into it. The combination of, choking on a bug
Mm-hmm.
with his pussed tonsils.
Killed him.
We
Huh?
say pussed because it's
Yeah.
like too risky to say
Yeah.
and write down.
Yeah, I get you.
I always joke around with it.
Yeah.
Anyways, he had like purulent tonsils that just were so swollen, and when he started coughing and choking on a fly,
Oh
it
my
killed
gosh.
him.
The fly killed him.
So yeah, he died from choking on a fly because
That's
of his
too bad.
tonsillitis.
Shoe
I
fly.
don't know why he died from a fly.
Yeah, exactly.
Louis III, King of West Francia. I think it's Francia, right?
West Francia. I don't know.
I don't know if it's Francia or Francia. I think it's Francia.
Is that where hot dogs are from?
Yeah. He's an 18-year-old buck, okay? He's in his
Okay.
prime. He is king.
Can you imagine being a king at 18 years old?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It
would
just
be
reminds
amazing.
me of Parks
Not
and
the
Rec.
life I ever got to.
It reminds me of Parks and Rec, where he became mayor and and
couldn't
did
do
something
anything
stupid.
right.
He made Icetown and just
Everyone
like
hated him.
bankrupted everything. It's like
Yeah.
that's exactly what would happen if I was an
Yeah.
18-year-old king.
You know what else you would do if you're an 18-year-old king?
What?
Chase a girl.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Any girl you wanted,
Yeah.
really.
So, young 18-year-old Louis III was chasing after a girl,
Okay.
and she was running, and she ran and was seeking refuge in her father's house.
Well, like he was
And this-
chasing her.
Yeah,
Like
and he's
she-
like this little horn dog. He's like, I want to get her.
It's
he
the
jumps
king.
up. He jumps up on to get on his horse.
Yeah.
and he gets smashed into the lintel of a low door and fell. Fractured skull. Died a time later.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He died chasing tail.
So he did.
Like it killed him.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Died chasing tail. I like that.
That's like, but like, why would she be running from the king? You think like I'm gonna be queen of Frankfurt?
Maybe
or
there was a
whatever
little
it was.
game, a little
Oh,
foreplay.
it could have been. Yeah.
Like get you.
I'm playing hard to get. I'm gonna make that
Jump
king
on the
work.
horse, bonk.
I'm gonna make this
He's out.
king work for it. You know? Oh shit! I killed the king.
Where is he? And he's bleeding to death.
He better be
in the
dead
barn.
somewhere.
That's exactly
That's
right.
exactly probably what she said.
Anyways, so yeah,
That's too
poor
bad.
kid.
Yeah.
Start of his.
Who
you know,
knew what he could have been?
Yeah.
What
well,
kind of king he could have been?
cracked his skull?
Yeah.
Edmund Ironside. A lot of people have heard
Ooh,
this story.
I like that
don't really
name.
have a big story behind
Oh,
it. So
okay.
he was king of England in 1016.
Okay.
So he was allegedly stabbed while taking dropping a deuce because the
Oh.
assassin was in the toilet.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
I've
the
heard
one
that one, yeah.
drives fear into everybody in the campground.
Yeah, man.
Because you're like, man, if Edmund Ironside got poked in the butthole,
The king of England.
he got stabbed.
Yeah.
So that one creeps me out.
He got knife raped.
But unfortunately,
Basically.
died by getting
So do you think the guy
sodomized with
do
a
you,
knife.
you think
in-
he went right up the beehole?
I think it says
that
it
what
did
happened?
go up the beehole.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, wait for the drop of poo, boom,
Yeah.
right up in there.
Follow the stream of turd directly up. You know what I mean?
I'll give him some credit for
Yeah.
hiding out in that turd hole.
You gave me the shitty job.
Oh, this is a big one. Stabbed in the ball.
You use a scream from underneath. I didn't expect it to be that big.
Yeah. You want me to cut it off?
I got a poop knife down
I'll
here.
cut it off. Let me help you. Divide it. Now I'm stabbing the ball.
He's like, oh, that turd hurt. Oh, wait. That was
So,
a knife up my beehole.
That's a sad ending.
That is too
for
bad. Well,
Edmund
Ironside.
Ironside. John of Bohemia.
Oh, man. Like, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
also he was a king that led his
Lots of
people
kings.
for like 50 years. Anyways, the last 10 years he became blind. And he's like, you know what, I'm going to still do this. I'm going to honorably go to battle. So the Battle of Cressy, I think, he decided, he's like, look, I can't see.
Yeah.
I want you to tie the reins of my horse to yours. Let's go into battle.
Oh my
Anyways,
gosh.
he ended up getting slaughtered.
That's a bad idea.
He's just like
Right.
swinging his sword. I'll get him. And he got butchered. So, John of Bohemia.
Make some noise, enemies. I shall kill thee. You know?
Clang your swords together. I'll
Yeah.
find you.
Make it a fair fight. I can't
Everybody's
see a
like-
thing.
I guess shoot him with an arrow.
This one's for old Ironsides.
It's like
Like,
crazy. I don't know.
just
Maybe
seems
he's
like a
just
bad
tired of being
idea.
blind. He's like, screw it.
you'd think
Bring me in.
somebody in his like cabinet would be like, look, sir, I know you want to help here, but I just don't think you should go
Yeah.
into battle.
Maybe
you
he
can't
was
see.
a super big burden to everybody. Like, I don't want to guide him anymore. Tie him up, send him into battle.
Yeah. That's
So
crazy,
that was
man.
John of Bohemia. Chronicler. Oh my gosh, can't say. Froissart. I
Okay.
can't say this. Relates to the King Charles II of Navarre, known as Charles the Bad.
Ooh.
Suffering from illness and old age, was ordered by his physician to be tightly sewn into a linen sheet,
Oh my gosh.
soaked in distilled spirits.
Oh.
He figured that was going to be something that kind of helps. And
Yeah.
anyways, it's highly flammable.
Oh,
and
yeah.
while he was tightly bound up in this, it
Yeah.
started on fire.
That makes sense.
So, unfortunately, as he was
He died.
trying to cure some sickness, being
Mhm.
sewn into his sheet, it started on fire and he burned to death.
Oh my gosh, that's no
So-
good.
It was considered a horrific death. His death was considered to be God's judgment upon the king.
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
I'm a hot sleeper. I could just burst at any moment. If I had distilled spirits soaked on me too,
Yeah.
I might just
Yeah.
burst. You don't even need a flame or a spark.
No.
Don't
no.
know.
So this one's sad. This is sad.
Great.
Grufford, I can't say his name, was a Welsh prince. I'll say it's that. Grufford
Grufford.
was a Welsh prince who had spent most of his life in captivity, either
Uh-huh.
being held by his own family or by the kings of England. You know, it's just a thing.
Yeah, it's
You
so
know,
crazy, man.
Like a man in the iron mask type of thing.
Yeah,
You
sure.
could- In 1244, Grufford was being held at the Tower of London, although with benefits such as having his wife allowed to visit him.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so they
Conjugal
were at
visits.
least pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
However, he decided he wanted. Maybe he was just like, I can only have you visit me for a while. You gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
But really, just wanted his peace and quiet.
Sure.
However, he decided he wanted to escape.
Mm.
The English chronicler. Am I saying that right?
I don't know.
Chronicler? I don't know how you say it. Matthew Paris explains what happened. One night, having deceived his gaolers and made a cord out of his sheets, tapestries, and tablecloths, he let himself down perpendicularly by means of the same rope from the top of the tower. When he had thus descended some distance from the weight of his body, he was a fat dude, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The cord snapped and he fell a great height.
Oh.
Big man, very corpulent. I'm going to say that for obese people.
Sure.
In this way, he broke his neck. He like impaled his head. Like it said, his corpse was found in the morning near the wall of the tower, and a spectacle for all to see, as his head, together with his neck, was almost buried deep within his breast and shoulders.
Oh my
So
gosh.
just like smashed it all the
So
way
like
inside.
did he like
I
land
think he
on
landed
his
head
head?
first, and it just
Oh.
driven off. So they're like, just walk around him.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Anyways,
That's
so
weird.
That was kind
Wow,
of a
that's-
nasty
that is
death that was
nasty.
documented. So
That's too bad.
Sigurd Eysteinsson was a 19th century earl of Orkney and had gained the nickname Sigurd the Powerful. He went to war with Maelbridget of Moray. And I'm sorry, historians, if you're out there.
Yeah.
According to
I don't think you have to
the
worry
saga,
about historians listening to our podcast.
yeah, right. Both sides agreed to do battle with just 40 men. However, Sigurd changed his mind and brought 80 men, which
Oh.
allowed him to win the battle and kill Mael and his forces. So what happened is he ended up once he won, he's like, hey, we're going to strap their heads to the saddles and go in victorious back to our city.
Okay.
And so he does that, ties the head up. He even took Mael, the guy that he killed's head, tied it to his saddle. And then as he went to spur his horse, the teeth from that head cut the back of his
No
leg.
way.
And he died of an infection weeks later.
Yeah, he deserved it when it comes down to it.
Yeah, he made an
He deserved
agreement.
it.
They're going to
Yeah.
fight 40 on 40. He brought 80 men, won, put his head on the saddle. And then as he was going to spur his horse, he got teeth
The
right
guy
in the back of his... It's like a
killed him.
zombie, man.
Killed him from his
Yeah,
death.
I think that's
Killed
an
him.
awesome...
That is
that's
a
an
good
awesome
story. I like that one.
So...
Wow.
Mael Bricht himself gained a new nickname posthumously, the Bucktooth.
The bucktooth. Yeah. I
Like
get
tooth
that. That makes sense.
Saved, yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
Byzantine Empire, Basil I spent the last few years of his reign worrying about plots to overthrow even from his own family. However, it was a hunting accident that would end his rule. This one's crazy to me. So he went out hunting, and it's even documented from 2 different people. He was giving chase alone, for his companions were tired, but the stag, seeing him isolated, turned in his flight and charged, trying to gore him.
Oh my
he
gosh.
threw his spear, but the stag's antlers were in the way, and it glanced off, useless to the ground. This is cool, right? During hunting
Yeah,
season.
for sure.
The emperor, now finding himself helpless, took to flight, but the deer pursuing struck at him with his antlers, with the result that it carried him off.
What?
For the tips of the antlers having slipped under his belt, the stag lifted him from his horse and bore him away. And no one knew this had happened till they saw his horse riderless. So they caught up with him, and he was still alive. They searched for him, found him, they killed the stag, and then they cut the belt and got him out of there. He was still alive, and they tracked back from where he had actually encountered the stag, and it had taken him with him for, what was it, sorry. I thought I put it up in here.
Apparently not.
16 miles.
Oh my gosh.
He was drug by the stag, locked up in his antlers.
Jeez.
16 miles.
That's insane.
Anyways, the gore caused internal bleeding, and he ended up dying from it.
Oh my
I was like, that's kind of a cool way
that
to
is
die.
pretty cool.
Like,
I
he
just
went
can't
hunting
imagine.
and didn't kill the stag. It stabbed him, carried him 16 miles.
I can't believe the stag would carry it that
I can't
far.
believe it was a huge sucker.
That's insane, man. And it had to have like dragged him the whole way.
Right.
Like his head down.
Yeah. I was like, that's insane.
That's crazy.
So anyways,
wow.
2 more here.
Okay.
Erfurt latrine disaster. Have you heard of that one?
No.
So in Germany, July 26th, 1184, Erfurt, Germany, a meeting was being held by Henry the Sixth, King of Germans, to settle various local disputes and with the nobles. And a dozen of nobles were in attendance. However, the meeting was being held on the 2nd floor of the building, and partway through, the wood floor gave way. Even worse, below was a latrine.
Oh no.
Poop and pee. And in the words of one chronicler, many fell into the cesspool below, some of which were rescued with difficulty, while others suffocated
Oh.
in the feces. Another account noted that 60 people died
Holy crap.
that fell through into the freaking turd and poop. Luckily, the king and his attendants were standing in a window embrasure and did not fall, but they were just hanging there, clinging until somebody rescued them.
Oh my gosh.
So, even though he didn't die, 60 people died in basically just a cesspool.
That's just like, that would be the worst.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And here's the last one, death by laughing. Like I said,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
several of these. Martin the Humane, king of Aragon and Sicily, died in 1410. Several versions of how he died, including that he was poisoned or suffered complications from severe obesity. But the story goes, he had eaten an entire goose that day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
His jester entered the king's bedroom. Martin asked him where he'd been, and the jester replied, "This is the funniest joke you guys will ever hear. Out of the next vineyard, where I saw a young deer hanging by his tail from a tree, and as if someone had punished him for stealing figs." And the king found that so funny, he
Figs
laughed
again.
uncontrollably and fell over, died.
What is it
So
with
if there's
figs?
anything that you find funny about figs,
Oh my gosh.
you're probably going to die.
Like,
So-
can you imagine if they had Fig Newtons back then? What they would be laughing at.
Yeah.
You're getting me a cookie.
Yeah,
It's
I-
not a cookie, it's a cake.
I mean, granted, if you eat an entire goose
Oh, yeah.
in one sitting,
You're going to
you're
be a
asking
silly
for
goose after that, right?
I hope no one dies from these jokes.
Everybody's laughing. They can't even hardly control their vehicles now.
Anyway, that's
Yeah.
why there's quite a few that died from
Wow.
laughing.
I know that is weird, huh?
But you know what's no laughing matter?
Oh my gosh.
Cybercrime is not.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%,
Yeah.
Cam.
It is no laughing matter.
I had to throw that one in there just because. The 100%.
You just ended it.
Yeah,
That's the last
I know.
podcast he'll listen to. So right now we're getting into holiday season. You guys
Mm-hmm.
are going to go online. I don't know where you're going to search for your gifts, but you want to be careful. You're also going to be traveling a lot more.
Oh, you
Getting
will.
on public Wi-Fi and all that. All of your stuff is at risk all the time. Seriously, you need to get Surfshark VPN because it can protect you and all of your devices, not one, not five, all of them that connect to the internet. Basically, it allows you to go gray man online, shield your information from websites and other online services, can protect your email. It can send you emails and let you know that your password's been compromised. It's pretty awesome. It's super easy to use. The app is like, honestly, it's one of the easiest ever. The thing connects often without me even knowing. I think it does its own thing.
Yeah.
But really, like going on public Wi-Fi, I always have this. I've used my own money to pay for this for 4 years now, and
Yeah,
so that
that's a
tells
long
you
time.
how much I have confidence in it.
Yes, sir.
But if you go to, or you can get 83% off 24 months, plus you get 3 extra months. That's why for less than $60, you get over 2 years of coverage.
Good
and
luck finding a
protection.
better deal than
Yeah.
that.
So use our promo code Casual Preppers, and that'll get you that deal, and you can go sign up today. The other thing is you can the thing I think is really cool is I've watched soccer over in England on the BBC network and stuff because
Footy.
you can connect to like I've connected to Manchester servers through Surfshark and allows you to kind of take
Now
a
you're
little,
getting local view.
yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. So definitely go check them out. It's totally worth it. And at one point or another, you're going to have some cybercrime happen to you.
No doubt. All right, so let's move on to the Renaissance period. I only got a couple from this one. They're
Renaissance.
Renaissance.
I had to I had a history lesson when looking at this. I'm like, what are the time frames?
I know, it doesn't make
What's
any sense, huh?
the dates?
Yeah.
because there's some crossover there.
There is some crossover because now we're back to 1567.
Yeah.
For the Renaissance.
Yeah.
This guy's name is Hans Steininger. He's the burgomaster of Brunau, and basically,
What is the burgomaster?
burgomaster is basically like a mayor.
Burgermaster.
I'm the burgomaster of Brunau. Everybody knows that.
Burgermaster Master Burger.
Yeah, that's right. This poor dude, he had a bad time. He broke his neck by by tripping over his own beard. Okay, this is a bad deal, man. He had a 4.5 foot long beard at the
Wow.
time, so most of the time he had this under control. He had a leather pouch that he would roll that beard up in and put it in and put it on his side. So then he had no problems. But that day he didn't have his pouch with him, so he was just walking willy nilly with his beard out. Okay, got that sucker, stepped on it. Did one of those, broke his neck in the process.
Gift
Dead.
that torqued his neck so bad.
Yeah. He's this guy. He got pretty aggressive with his walk,
Wow.
apparently, and just died. He was no longer the burgomaster of Brunau after that because he was dead.
That's
So anyways,
insane.
Yeah, so if you're going to have a beard that long, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
There are things that may happen. Now we're going to move to 1601, Tycho Brahe. Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah.
What's up, Brahe?
And Wojo Brahe. According to a first-hand account, he had refused to leave a banquet that he was at to relieve himself. Dude
okay.
had to urinate so bad. He had to take a pee. But it's a breach of etiquette, apparently, back in the 1600s. I just won't do it. I've got to urinate, but I will. It's a breach of
It's
etiquette.
bad, but I'm going to stay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to burst any moment, but I shall stay. Breach of etiquette. Actually, after he returned home, he was no longer able to urinate.
Ooh.
Right, it got bad, except eventually in very small quantities in excruciating pain. He died a few days later
Gosh.
because of that. Anyways,
Well, that's a sad ending.
that's too bad, huh?
I've had times when I feel like I just want to slit my bladder open
I
to
know,
get the
yeah.
pee out
I
faster.
know, yeah. But anyways, that's the only two I have from
Poor
the
dude.
Renaissance, Cam. So now we're into the early modern period.
Yeah. And so I don't have specific dates. Just believe me that they're in
They
this
happened
period.
in this
okay?
period, yeah.
James Betts sounds like a pretty common name.
Yeah, it does.
Was a secret lover of Elizabeth Spencer. I don't know who she is
Don't
either.
tell nobody, but I love that Elizabeth Spencer.
One day, when her father stormed in,
Yeah.
so she hid him in a cupboard.
Oh.
Nice
okay.
cupboard.
Uh-huh.
What's in the cupboard?
Anyways.
Yeah.
yeah. Speum. My wife and I always joke about the line "The Witch in the Wardrobe."
Oh.
In the speum.
I don't.
Anyways, don't worry about it. She'll get it.
'Kay.
Anyways, this wooden cupboard was sealed super tight, so tight that there was no air,
What?
and Betts suffocated to death.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
That's too
she
bad.
tried to hide him, and he asphyxiated. That's pretty crazy.
That's some great
the
craftsmanship.
thing that's weird is they use this. I have never seen. Have you ever watched Warehouse 13?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
I
It's
haven't
about
seen it.
like the crazy stuff that store at this warehouse. It's like aliens.
Yeah.
and crazy
So,
things, right?
anyways, there is a handle in there
Mm-hmm.
that's called James Betts cupboard handle.
Oh wow.
That apparently can be used if you just have the little cupboard handle
Mm-hmm.
and hold it towards somebody. They start feeling like they're going to suffocate and
wow.
choke and all that stuff.
Cool.
Anyways,
That's
pretty cool.
I mean, that just
That's
sounds
where it
like
came from.
well crafted cupboard.
Yeah,
Definitely wasn't
That's
like
what I was going to say.
wasn't IKEA.
The tightest,
Yeah.
like closing cupboard. I'm like, man,
That's fantastic. I like
they
it.
don't make them like they used to.
No, not in the early modern period.
If you crawl in one now, you just bust out the back thin layer that's stapled
You
on.
wouldn't even, once you got in, it would just crush underneath you. That's like the legs don't.
Yeah, so I don't know who, like,
Yeah.
honestly, this story should talk about
Yeah.
whoever crafted that thing.
That's great craftsmanship.
This person, Francois Vatel. This one I really like
'Kay.
because the anxiety that we all experience today and that you hear of, I'm like, I could, I don't know. Anyways, he was the major domo, which is chief steward of Prince Louis II.
Oh, okay.
De Bourbon-Condé. Was responsible for the banquet of 2,000 people hosted in honor of King Louis the 12th.
Okay.
14th. I can't, my Roman numerals, man.
I'm not in practice with my
At
Roman numerals.
Chateau de Chantilly, where he died, according to the letter by Madame de Servigne. Vatel was so distraught about the lateness of the seafood delivery and about other mishaps that he committed suicide.
He's like, I can't take it.
It's not here. And then his body was found when someone come to tell him about the arrival of the fish.
Oh, it's here.
What's wrong? He's laying on a sword.
Sir, the shrimp has arrived.
It's like he had so much anxiety over
dead.
this that it wasn't going well and that the
Yeah.
food was behind that
Oh my
he's like,
gosh.
screw it, I'm done.
Dude, I had anxiety is bad.
It's really bad.
I had to give a presentation at work like this week, and I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like this. I don't want to be here. This is the worst thing ever.
It is. I don't like
horrible.
delivering stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even this podcast, I've gotten used to just butchering it. So
Yeah,
don't worry
exactly.
about it. The flinch. See, there you go.
Flinch.
I need to have some medicine.
I want some flinch toast.
Flinch bread, son.
Yeah.
The French playwright Molière suffered a pulmonary hemorrhage caused by tuberculosis. But he was in the middle of an act and he was playing the part of a hypochondriac. He disguised his convulsion as part of the performance and finished out the show, which ended in his character dead in a chair.
Wow.
After the show, he was carried in the chair to his house where he completely died.
Oh my god.
So he's like, just make this part of the show. Anyways,
Wow.
that is some acting. It
I
was like,
suffer for my work.
bravo.
I suffer for my work.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Jean-Baptiste Lully,
There's
the
a lot
French
of French
composer,
ones in this
I
one.
know, died of a gangrenous abscess after. Oh, okay. Let me tell you. So during that time, when there was a composer, like they would bang their staff on the floor, like, better, we did it good, and they would just slam it down.
Okay.
Anyways, he went like right into his foot.
Oh, of course.
Broke his foot, broke the skin, ended up getting gangrenous abscess that ended up killing him.
Oh man.
Famous composer,
Yeah.
smashed his own foot, died.
Wow, that's too bad.
Yeah. Henry Hall, a 94-year-old British lighthouse keeper.
94?
This one is pretty awful.
Wow.
Anyways, he was a lighthouse keeper and it started on fire and he was putting it out and he ended up dying afterwards. And they found that during this, when he was actually trying to put the fire out in the tower, molten lead from the roof fell down and went down his throat.
Oh my gosh.
They did an autopsy and they found 7 ounces and 18, I don't know, whatever they measured in. 7 ounces, 5 drachms, and 18 grains. The piece of lead was currently it's in a collection in National Museum
No
of
way.
Scotland. Yeah. Anyways, they found that it like burned his throat into his stomach, ulcerated, and it caused like all these burns within his stomach and down to his small intestine.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine? You're like,
poor
put that
dude.
fire out and it's like, "Whoop,"
Keep your mouth
hot
closed.
liquid.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why you keep your mouth
That's a horrible
At
death.
least the dude was 90 something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he died. He's old.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they even did it by autopsy.
I know. Hey, who cares? You're 92 years old.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Sir Francis Bacon?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First Viscount of St. Albans was born 22nd of January. I don't even know why I ever said
Okay.
that. He is well known for his contribution to science. In
Sure.
fact, science and research is what it is today because of Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
The methodology of science and research, something we may not even think about as having an origin or not existed, was Bacon's brainchild.
Mm-hmm.
One day in April 1626, this is a true scientist. Bacon was taking a walk in the snow. Whilst on the walk, he had an idea of freezing meat to preserve it.
What?
He immediately bought a fowl and stuffed it with snow, whereupon he contracted pneumonia during that and died a few days later.
Oh.
In the letter, Bacon wrote on his deathbed to his friend, Lord Arundel. He said, "As for the experiment itself, it succeeded excellently well." So, you know.
It worked.
Yeah, it
He's the
worked.
first dude to thought to freeze meat.
Yeah. Isn't that
Wow.
crazy?
And his last name was Bacon.
His last name was Bacon. Perfect.
That is perfect.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and the last one, Clement Valentine Digham. Vallandigham.
Did you say any words there? That sounded like gibberish.
Clement Vallandigham. He was an American politician and lawyer, and at age 50, at age 50, he was representing a defendant, Thomas McGeehan, in a murder case for killing a man in a brawl in Hamilton, Ohio. Vallandigham, I don't know how you say it, attempted to prove the victim, Tom Meyer, was in fact accidentally shot himself while he was drawing a pistol from his pocket while rising from a kneeling position. As he went through the motions, had a pistol, and he showed how exactly it could be done, the pistol went off.
That's funny. That
And
one
he
was
got-
one of mine too. I don't know how
oh.
we both got that one.
Yeah.
That's funny though.
Yeah. I was like, the poor dude
Yeah.
was like demonstrating as best as possible with a real pistol and
Couldn't be any
somehow
better.
putting it into his pocket, and in the kneeling position, the gun was like, and anyways,
That's
he
how
was
it's
like,
done.
"It's well done, see?"
But it was acquitted. Yeah, he got his
yeah,
guy
the guy
off.
was acquitted.
Yeah.
And that guy was shot. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see
The
that.
guy that was acquitted like 4 years later was shot to death somewhere else.
Oh, that's too bad.
But yeah, I think he even said something in there. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I was just like, after that, he still went through with the case, and the guy was acquitted. He's
Jeez.
like, "You guys see how that gets done?"
I'm a good lawyer. I'm a dead lawyer.
Anyways,
I gotta go to the bathroom.
and he died.
Anyways, anybody have
Yeah,
some
I
bleach
was
stuff?
worried there might be a little crossover because the
Yeah.
time frame
Yeah, it's weird.
and some
huh?
of them
Yeah.
was like pretty.
So
wide.
let's move on to the 19th century, Cameron. March
Now it gets personal.
of 1809. There's a guy named John Cummings. He went to the circus one day.
Love his diesel engine.
He's got the best engines there ever was. He went to a circus one day and he saw a knife swallower. And he's like, I like that. This guy got something going on, right? So he's like, I'm gonna start doing that too. So he just starts swallowing knives, and he's just doing this on his own for some stupid reason. I don't know why.
he liked it so much.
He just like it's like a pastime. It's
This
just
is
like
pretty cool.
Some people like to crochet, some people like to do other stuff. He likes to swallow knives. On one occasion, he swallowed 4 knives. Okay, quickly passed 3 with no ill
I
health.
thought you were supposed to just like swallow one and pull it back out.
He's like ingesting them all the way. So this is the funny thing. Yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna go swallow it down. He quickly passed 3 of them with no
How did
ill
he
health.
pass any of them?
I know, dude. The funny thing is he swallowed 4, quickly passed 3. He's like, this is going great. I'm like, dude, you still have a knife inside you. There's 4 of them, right? So later he swallowed 14. He was so confident. He's like,
Then he lost track because
Yeah.
this math gets real confusing.
I should have made a mark somewhere about how many knives I was swallowing.
so after
You
some
need those pouches, like in surgery, they have these pouches
Yeah.
to put the gauze in.
So you know.
Put that knife in. Wait a minute.
Yeah. So he swallowed these 14 knives. After some days, he had some abdominal pain, which you might expect.
It feels like a blade right in my chest.
It's a sharp pain, not a dull pain.
Yeah, it's like a side ache, but it feels like a knife.
Yeah. I don't know.
Actually, you can see the point.
Yeah, it's coming out
Touch
of my
it.
abdomen. He passed all of them.
Wow.
They all went through. This dude had like bowels of steel somehow, right?
Hopefully, chop some polyps off on the way.
Yeah, maybe this should help. Finally, he's like, I'm going to the next level. I'm gonna swallow 20 knives. So he's like, I got 20 knives.
Okay, he was gonna for sure die anyway because when was he gonna stop?
I don't know. Yeah, this was getting too nuts. And a clasp knife. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but after a few days, he had only passed the case of a knife. Maybe it was or the clasp knife. He died after 4 years in pain. 4 years of abdominal pain from swallowing
He
knives.
stayed alive.
I know.
What do you diagnose me with, Doc? I got abdominal pain. Well, might be all the damn knives you swallow.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's what I'm going with.
I'm not a historian, but your
Yeah.
history tells me
Yeah.
that as a knife swallower, you probably caused some damage.
I think maybe we'll wrap you up in some sheets.
that.
I know my body, Doc. It ain't that.
Where are you, PA? I need a doctor.
Give me a real doctor. Will you try to give me some? Yeah.
So they did an autopsy for some stupid reason
Let
afterwards.
me guess. They found a knife.
They found a knife blade and a spring in his intestines and 30 to 40 fragments of metal, wood, and horn in his stomach.
Oh my gosh.
So
We still can't figure out where the pain was coming from.
We don't know. We'll probably never know.
you know,
Medical mystery.
Medical mystery. Write that one down in the books.
I
anyways,
can't believe you passed that.
I
man.
know, it's
I
pretty
can't believe
crazy.
you passed that one.
Old John Cummins. Knife swallower.
now we're gonna move to October of 1814. The Moo and Co.'s Horseshoe Brewery.
Yeah.
They had a 22-foot tall wooden vat of fermenting porter.
Porterhouse?
But no, beer, right? It burst.
Oh, okay.
22 foot tall. This thing is gigantic, causing chain reactions and destroying several large beer barrels. So just know that there's alcohol everywhere. It's going everywhere. The beer
Fire.
it subsequently flooded the nearby slum. There was slums nearby.
Oh, they're
killed
like,
8 people.
Yeah.
Just because of the flood of
Wow.
beer, killed 8 people. Also, several people subsequently died from alcohol poisoning as a result of the vaporized liquor.
Holy crap.
Just because of the vapors, they died.
wow.
That's pretty nuts, huh?
That's
Yeah,
some people love that.
I know. Yeah,
I'm sure the slums was happy about it, but
yeah.
went out.
It's a legend
Went out
now,
a little
you know.
rough.
One day we were sitting in our shack and here come the beer.
I wish I could have a beer tonight.
Yeah.
Just blast through your
Be
door.
careful what you wish for. This is a warning to you all.
Don't you know the story of Mr. Cummins?
Yeah. You'll swallow a knife or
wanted to
drown
be
in
the
alcohol.
best knife guy.
Yeah. Then we're going to move to 1854. This is why people are scared of clowns because
Okay.
of what this incident. This is probably where it started from. William Snyder, 13, from San Francisco, California.
I always
went-
feel bad when they were younger.
I know. He went to a circus, right? And a circus is supposed to be a good time for all.
Okay. I thought you were going to say he was floating a boat
No,
down in the
he
gutter
wasn't.
and it went
No.
down the gutter.
Yeah, no, that wasn't what
That was
happened.
George.
Yeah, that was Georgie. But the circus clown got a hold of him. Like, I can just imagine the scene with this going on. Grabbed him by his ankles
Oh, man.
and just started swinging him in circles. Just started freaking swinging him. Burst his aorta, died.
Holy crap.
Yeah, he died from a circus clown swinging him in circles. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a bad deal for that.
That
guy.
is a very bad deal.
Can you imagine? Like, you just how'd your kid die?
Oh, the circus clown.
Are you doing any personal birthday parties?
I like to.
That boy that seems to be so excited.
Yeah, died. All right, June 1867. Duchess Matilda of Austria, daughter of Archduke Albrecht, Duke of Teschen. yeah,
Duke of Testicles.
So her dad was kind of he was one of those guys pretty strict.
Oh, yeah.
Right. She was a young girl. She was like in her teens. She's like,
Don't tell me what you do.
Yeah, I'll do whatever I want. You careful, you're the Duke of Testicles. I'll do whatever I want.
so she was smoking, right? She was-
yeah.
yeah, so whatever.
Crazy girl. Crazy girl.
Just sucking in on that stuff, and her dad comes running in the room. She freaks out a little bit. She gets kind of scared. Tries to put the cigarette in her dress.
Oh, no.
Oh no! Flammable dress. She dies from
Oh, my
setting her
gosh,
dress
that's
on
so horrible.
I know. Rebellious teenager dies from trying to hide a cigarette from her dad.
Wow.
The Duke
I could
of
see that
Teschen.
happening for sure.
Yeah, so that's too bad.
That is.
That's too bad. June 1871. Actually, no, that's the one you already did, so I don't need to
Sorry
do that
about
one again.
that.
You're fine. November 1872. Henry Taylor. He's going to a funeral, and he's asked to be the pallbearer. Right? I mean, it's not a very fun thing to do. I've done it. I think a lot of people have done it. It's not very fun.
No,
This
it's not.
guy had the worst experience as a pallbearer ever when he tripped on a stone and the casket landed on top of him, killing him at the funeral. The widow was nearly went
That's
into
pretty
hysterics. I know. You die at the funeral. It's like, well, do we put them both in the hole?
You do the viewing today?
Yeah, he's already here. 2 for 1 deal. You know, so anyways.
Put him down by his feet. So open one side.
Yeah.
And close it, open the other side.
Yeah, it's like one of those novels that you flip up and down. You know what I mean? Same thing. Same thing. Okay, let's go to 1881. Sir William Payne Galloway.
Galloway.
He was a former British MP, which is member of parliament.
Multiplayer.
Multiplayer.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a member of parliament. He's out hunting. He loves to hunt.
Yeah, yeah.
No, everybody loves to hunt. It's a good time. Unfortunately, he tripped and he fell on a turnip and he hit the turnip so hard that he died. The turnip, like
Punctured his lung or something?
Like punctured and gave him internal injuries, and he died from the turnip.
Was the turnip above the ground?
Apparently, it had to have
It
been.
was like
Yeah,
the stem is.
I think the turnip was just hanging out, and he fell like in the wrong spot. So
pretty
it's too
horrible.
bad, right?
Yeah.
Died by turnip. Turns out, there's probably jokes there, but
turned up, he dead.
turn up, he turned up dead.
That's better than mine.
That probably works right. I knew it was there somewhere. Just sometimes it takes a second.
It didn't
My
apply
brain's
very
too
good to
slow.
me.
My
Well, I
brain didn't
butchered
turn
it.
up.
Turn up outside, and then it's just end it there.
Turn up. Dead. That's funny. Yeah. I don't know. August 1888. There was a meteor shower. It was like rain in the village of Salamanayaha, Iraq. I said that perfectly right. Salamanayaha, Iraq.
It's a cool place.
A guy died from a meteorite hitting
Oh,
him.
really?
Yeah. The only
One
person.
in a billion chance.
Yeah, and another guy was paralyzed. So like two people in the same city.
Yeah.
Like really, there was like a lot of meteorites coming down.
Gosh.
Yeah, bad deal there. Yeah, that's scary.
Wow.
They probably thought it was the end of the world.
I was.
Wouldn't you think that too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the period.
19th
So now we're
century.
going into the 20th century.
20th century
20th
Fox.
Yeah.
That's all I ever.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Staten Walker. Loved baseball.
Yeah, he sounded like either a baseball player or like a rodeo star.
Yeah, that's true.
Stan Walker.
Staten Walker.
He's Bear Bronc rider.
20-year-old
20
watching amateur baseball in Morristown, Ohio, with a friend on either side of him.
Yeah, sure.
You know, good times. He borrowed his friend's knife, and
Okay.
because back then they needed to he was keeping score for some reason
Okay, just like in the
because
stands.
it was just like definitely amateur baseball.
Yeah, it's very amateur.
Yeah, because
Hey, somebody keep score?
the
out
fans
there?
can keep the score.
Yeah.
You decide who wins.
You guys tell us who wins.
Yeah. Anyways, he borrowed a knife from his friend, sharpening a pencil. At the time, like right at the same moment when he was sharpening, a foul ball struck him in the hand and drove the knife into his chest.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Anyways, he
What?
died. Drove the knife into his chest, and his friend asked if he was hurt, and he said, "Not much." And then he died.
And he died.
like minutes later.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh, did that hurt? Not much. Okay. And then he
He just
died.
slumps over.
Yeah, it's like creepy
Wow,
though.
that
Yeah,
is.
got
That's
a
horrible.
Freaking knife
That
driven into
sucks.
his chest.
Man.
Early 1903. Don't even have the person's name.
Okay.
Unidentified person.
Okay.
But this was in so a family member, well, this man, sorry, was being treated for malaria. And his family summoned a kahuna.
Are they like
big kahuna.
necromancers or something?
Yeah.
They
Who
summoned him?
decided he was possessed by the devil and
Okay.
tried to exorcise the demons. He's like, this man's possessed by a devil. And he used the Bible to beat the demon out of him. Unfortunately, he beat him to death.
I could see that one
And he
coming.
was charged
Yeah.
for manslaughter.
That's too bad.
Poor guy.
He was trying to help.
I know. Yeah, a demon. It's like just like bloodied and
The Bible's just
almost
covered in
out. He's
blood.
almost out.
Oh man.
Yeah. So Benjamin Taylor Bell,
Oh.
February 1904.
Okay.
On his way to work,
Mhm.
day after day, he's taken the shortcut through Canadian mining review offices adjacent to his store. Did this all the time.
Yeah, no
he
big
just
deal.
cut through, no problem. But on this day, wrong door.
Oh no.
Fell 10 feet down an elevator shaft and died
Wrong-
of his injuries. It's
Wrong
like-
door. He's doing it for 10 years and he got the wrong door.
Yeah, I'm like,
Pay
but he's like,
attention.
yeah, I'll be in tomorrow. And opened the wrong door and
Right
stepped
down-
into a 10-foot drop
Oh man.
elevator shaft,
Which
which
just died
yeah, it died.
right there.
I mean, 10 foot's long, but it's
Not that it's
super
like-
dramatic.
I think I've jumped off a 10-foot thing before.
I remember like our basketball getting stuck, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
crawled up there to get it down. Isn't that like 10 feet?
Yeah, it is.
I like
It is 10 feet.
I did like a gainer.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I'm trying to think like it was built on our farm, so it's probably like not even close to 10 feet.
Yeah, it's just probably whatever length
Whatever
of
would
pipe
weld.
you
Yeah,
had.
yep. Some
Yeah.
leftover pipe. Melissa M. Timon, 1904, 50-year-old Melissa Timon from Los Angeles, California, was enjoying a nice ride on a streetcar.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
just normal, just getting around. Had a good time. She fell off. The
Yeah.
streetcar struck the back of her head. The Problem is, she had an aluminum comb which drove into her skull and killed her.
No
I was
way.
like, that's kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
1,000 Ways to Die, right?
Yeah.
Remind me of. George Spencer Millett. February 1909, an American teenager who worked as an office boy at an insurance company at the Metropolitan Life Building in New York City. Big deal.
Sounds like a
had
good
a lot.
life.
He had a good future.
Yeah, he had stuff going on for him.
He was a good-looking man.
Yeah.
He had 6 young women that were chasing him around.
Oh, that's
They're
awesome.
trying to kiss him.
I like this guy
Yeah.
already.
It was his 15th birthday.
Oh, they were trying to they were like chasing him
Yeah,
for real, trying
yeah.
to kiss him.
I don't know why he's working there at 15. But anyway.
He's just an office boy.
Yeah. 15th birthday,
Uh-huh.
carrying an ink eraser in his breast pocket. One of them caught him, moved him for a kiss, and he fell forward, just leaned into that kiss.
Yeah.
And that eraser poked through his chest and pierced his heart and
What
killed
kind
him.
of eraser is that?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering. It's like, how is it an eraser? It sounds like it's just a freaking.
Wow.
I don't know.
Poor
Harpoon.
guy. Hopefully he got a kiss before he
I know.
died at least.
I was like, that one's pretty crappy.
That sucks.
Franz Rachel. This one's actually pretty famous. I'm saying it wrong. Rachel. He was a tailor and an inventor. You probably heard the story.
Okay.
He said he was like the first person to develop like a generic parachute made from cloth.
Generic parachute?
His own invention.
Like no name brand stuff here. This is generic.
Just put together
Great
crappy.
value
It
parachute.
it wasn't North Face. I don't think they make them. But
North Face parachute.
they should. They got the
I'm
material
sure they
for it.
got, yeah, they.
He was asked by friends and authorities to use a dummy to test his parachute
Yeah.
off from the Eiffel Tower, and he's like, no, I do it myself.
Is he French?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
he's
he's French.
French. Okay.
I don't know. That's where he was at.
Okay.
I'm gonna say he's French.
Yeah.
I intend to prove the worth of my invention, and he jumped to his death.
Of course he did.
There's a video of this.
There's a video?
Yeah.
Oh my
1912. They have video. It's like black and white, and it almost looks like those.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, you see him. He just jumps off and dead.
Wow.
So
That's too bad.
he is known as the Flying Tailor, but he
That
wasn't a flying.
didn't really
tailor.
fly.
I know.
No.
Did you ever hear about as preppers, which most of you are that are listening, molasses is a really good storage food item. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Tastes good. It can be added to things. They used to store tons of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Large storage tank, 2.3 million gallons was stored in Boston area.
Yeah. I've heard this one.
I can't believe this.
This is insane.
Weighing approximately 13,000 tons, it burst open, and the resultant wave of molasses rushed through the streets at 35 miles per hour.
Jeez.
Killing 21 people and injuring 150.
Wow.
The event entered local folklore, and residents claimed for decades after that the area still smelled like molasses on hot summer days.
Wow.
21 people were killed, 150 injured. That's crazy.
That's a
Big
body
old
count.
molasses like wave.
Wow.
I mean, that would just be creepy though, because you're just like, I can't move, I can't run.
Everybody's in slow motion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's crazy.
That's too bad.
Sorry, there was like too many in here.
You're fine.
Too many in 1900s or 2000s. No, sorry.
No.
20th century. Sorry about that.
You didn't even know what you're doing.
Thornton Jones.
Yeah.
Thornton Jones, a lawyer.
Lawyer.
Bangor,
What?
Bangor, Gwynedd, Wales.
Okay.
Man, the British are going to be so pissed.
Yeah, they already are.
Woke up to find that his throat was slit. Motioning for paper and pencil, he wrote, I dreamt that I'd done it, and I woke to find it true. And he died 80
What?
minutes later.
He slit his
He
own
done
throat.
it himself.
Oh my god.
He had a dream, and for some reason, slit his own throat.
I guess that's why you don't sleep with a knife.
No. Yeah.
It's too bad.
Yeah. That one was creepy to me.
That is creepy.
Like, what? I've never had a dream where I've killed myself.
I haven't either.
I mean, people probably do. Bobby Leach,
Bobby Leach.
1926, an American stunt performer.
Yes, he is.
Gone
Yeah.
over the Niagara Falls 15 years earlier. He
Hmm?
broken his leg, his jaw, bone, both kneecaps. I mean, he became wildly popular. He began touring the world, doing all these different stunts.
Kinda like an
everything
Evel
that.
Knievel
Yeah,
type
exactly.
guy.
He basically was like an Evel Knievel of that time. Unfortunately, while on publicity tour in New Zealand, he slipped on an orange peel,
Really?
broke his leg, and it became infected, gangrenous,
Oh my gosh.
and necessitated amputation. He died of
Wow.
the complications 2 months later.
How like
He's like super
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done all these like stunts, went over the Niagara Falls twice, and like ends up slipping on an orange peel
Fruit takes him out.
and dies.
It's like, has anyone ever really slipped on a peel, like a banana peel or an orange peel? Like, I don't get it. Like, how does that happen?
I'd say I've kind of almost slipped.
Really?
Like stood on one and your leg just slides with it.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I've never like.
yeah. Yeah. And heard like the sound effects when that
Yeah.
happened. Yeah.
I could see how you could break your
I
leg
guess
on
so.
that.
I guess so.
Yeah. Anyway, that one's sad.
Yeah,
That
it's
one's sad.
very sad.
Isadora Duncan,
Mm-hmm.
1927, American dancer. I've seen like if you look at pictures of her, I've seen her in some of those old films.
Uh-huh.
In the 1920s, she suffered a very horrible accident.
Oh, no.
So, anyways, story is that she was in Nice, France. There's a lot of stuff that happens in old Nice,
Yeah, there
France.
is. Old Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
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 Duncan was a passenger in an Amilcar CG-SS automobile that has open spokes. She was wearing all of this nice clothing with a really long scarf.
Oh, no.
Like a silk scarf.
Yeah.
While she was wearing this, it's almost like a cape. Even one of the people that worked with her said, you probably should like tuck that in because it's just blowing all over the place. And she's like, no, it's cold. I'm going to wear it. It looks very nice.
Yes, sure.
It got stuck in the spokes of the rear axle and broke her neck.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that creepy?
Oh,
That's a horrible one.
that is horrible.
Yeah. As she was leaving, she said, farewell, my friends. I go to glory, and then snapped her neck.
Good gracious.
Like a few minutes later.
She suffers for fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's crazy.
That's too bad.
Arnold Bennett, British novelist, was dining in Paris with his wife, Dorothy, and he drank 2 glasses of tap water during the meal, scoffing at Dorothy's claims that the water in Paris was not properly treated or safe to drink. He's like, listen to me.
I'll drink whatever I want.
I'm a writer. Very important. Anyways, he died of typhus.
Of course.
A few days later.
Yeah. Listen to your wife. That's what that means.
Nicholas Comper, 1939. An aviator and aircraft designer was attempting to light a firework in Hythe, Kent, when a passerby inquired what he was doing.
What are you doing?
He was doing. What are you doing?
What's happening here?
He replied that he was an IRA man planning to blow up the town hall. This guy was like, I know you're not in this town. Knocked him down. He smashed his head and died.
Oh, my gosh.
He was joking. And the guy was like, he ain't going to do that in this town.
You can't blame him,
Fell
though,
and
right?
broke his head.
Do you
Yeah,
blame him?
Broke his head.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that
Word.
is. You might just want to call the police, though, you know?
Thomas Migley Jr., 1944. At age 51, Migley contracted polio, which left him severely disabled. So he had developed this whole system of chains and pulleys to kind of lift himself out of bed. Super smart inventor.
Sure, yeah.
Unfortunately, they found him tangled up in his own device, strangulated.
Oh, no.
Pull that, not that one.
Pull the other.
I was like, it's probably a horrific scene to find him.
Yeah, that's probably bad. That's too bad, man.
No, there's a lot of little short ones. Thomas Mantell, a pilot of a P-51 Mustang fighter. Do you remember this guy's name?
Mantell? No.
Crashed while in pursuit of an unidentified flying object near
Oh.
Franklin, Kentucky, thus becoming the first person known to have died as a result of a UFO finding.
Oh, my gosh.
So he was flying in his plane, and he started to. He said he radioed in that he'd seen kind of an unidentified object. He
I think I
chased
see some
after-
aliens in the sky.
Yeah.
I think it's all chase it down. It's going so fast. I'm going to try and chase it around here.
Oh, girls, jackknife. Anyways, they figured he was like at high altitude. He
Yeah.
kind of had lack of oxygen when he was spiraling towards it and crashed.
That's too
And
bad.
they found out later that it was just like an air balloon.
Of course.
Poor guy.
It was a
Happened
weather
a
balloon.
million times. I've heard this
Yeah.
story before.
That's what they're
They're
saying.
still using this
Yeah.
story today.
Exactly. Same thing. every time.
Remember, well,
It's a weather
just an air and weather balloon.
Weather balloon.
So, anyways, I think we had mentioned that one at
Yeah,
one point.
I do too. Yeah.
Mary Reeser? I don't know. Eraser. 1951. Okay. Reeser's landlady, Pansy Carpenter, arrived at her home in Florida with a telegram. She tried to open the door. She found the doorknob was hot, uncomfortable, warm to touch, but the building was fine.
Like Home Alone type thing?
Yeah. And so she called the police
Mm-hmm.
because she didn't come to the door and she, it's been a few days.
Sure.
When they broke in to find out what was going on, she had just been burned like in the seat that she was in. She's the only person that they think may have
Spontaneous combustion.
Spontaneous combustion. Yeah.
Oh
Reese's
my
remains that
gosh.
were largely ashes were found among the remnants of the chair in which had been that she was sitting. She was found by the police and totally cremated where she sat, but her apartment was relatively damage free. Some speculate that she spontaneously combusted.
Yeah, man.
Some think that she may have just fallen asleep and dropped her like
Cigarette or
or something. But the way that she just burned, they're just like her left foot, her backbone, her skull were all intact.
What?
But it had like cooked everything. It was just like super weird. She became known as the Cinder Lady.
Yeah, that's cool.
That one's
Spontaneous
crazy.
combustion's interesting.
Yeah, they still don't know for sure how exactly she burned, and nothing else really burned in her apartment.
Oh, man.
Just like it's crazy.
That is nuts.
Last one, Margaret Wise Brown, 1952, author of Goodnight Moon,
Oh, yeah.
had been previously admitted to the hospital for an ovarian cyst.
Mm-hmm.
To prove how healthy she was after treatment, she kicked her foot in the air, dislodged a blood clot in her leg, and died.
Oh,
It's like, I didn't know that.
good night, Moon.
Good night, ovary. I was like, that's pretty
too bad.
Pretty sad.
That is sad.
So, yeah, she's like, I'm fine, everybody. Oh, shit.
Yeah, and now you're dead.
Yeah.
That's
so.
too bad. Well, let's move on to like the 60s through the 90s.
That's
this
a good
one,
time frame.
This one right here is pretty dang sad. February 1968, Eckel Cole and Robert Walker, two Memphis, Tennessee garbage collectors, were crushed to death after the trash compactor of their garbage truck malfunctioned while they were taking refuge inside the back of the truck during a rainstorm. So there's a bad rainstorm. They get in the back of the truck to get rid of it. The thing malfunctions. They get squished. The bad thing is they were two black men. They were not allowed to take shelter inside the building because of segregation laws. So that's why they died. As a result of their deaths, sanitation workers in Memphis went on strike. During the strike, Martin Luther King Jr., who had come to Memphis to support the striking workers, was assassanated.
Oh, my gosh. Really?
What a crazy
I didn't
chain
know
of
that.
events. I didn't either. Anyways, that's crappy, man. Not good. Nah, not good at all.
That ain't good.
How about 1974? Basil Brown,
Oh,
48.
Bandana Brown.
Bandana Brown's cousin. A health food
Bandana
advocate.
Brown, Basil Brown.
Yeah.
Bandana Brown.
Bandana Brown. From Croydon, England. He died from liver damage. It's too bad, right? Liver damage is never good. But he kind of brought it upon himself. He consumed 70 million units of vitamin A. 70 million units and around 10 gallons of carrot juice over 10 days. Dude was completely
You know,
orange.
the thing with these deaths is you see, like, people just get crazier
Yeah, I
and
know.
crazier.
They're dumb people.
Yeah.
He was bright orange yellow basically when he died because he
I
had
think I've
so
seen
much
pictures
carrot
of that.
juice. Yeah. That's pretty weird.
Isn't there a Scrubs episode where some guy's like eating
I think so, yeah. There is, yeah. Then we're going to move to 1977. Ray Ciccione, a 28-year-old professional footballer, and the Italy national football team.
Soccer. For you people.
Yeah. He was making this practical joke. He was pretending to rob a jeweler. Someone came in and shot him. Again, the same thing. Like, don't joke about those types of things. He got shot.
Either get pushed down or shot.
Yeah, that's too bad. January of 1978, Gödel, an Austrian-American logician and mathematician, he developed this like obsessive fear of being poisoned. Like he's like, someone gonna poison me. He's Austrian-American. I don't know what they sound like. Somebody's going to poison me. Is that what an Austrian sounds like? Dude, somebody's going to poison me. Is that an Austrian?
I think the other one was better.
It wasn't okay.
Someone's going to poison me.
I've
I
got,
can't. I said, what is going to poison me?
I've got this fear that someone
There
will be
you go.
poisoning
That's a
me.
good one.
I will not eat any food unless
it's someone.
it must be prepared by my...
Someone's going to poison
That's where I was
me.
going. Must be prepared by my wife. Okay? I will not eat any food. So he wouldn't eat any food unless his wife made it. Unfortunately, she died.
Stingy butthole.
Yeah, she died. And he refused to eat any other food, starved to death.
All the church members were like, here's some food.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I will not eat your stupid
turned French.
casserole. Take your casserole, take it away. I will not eat it. And he died. Just
That's
wouldn't
crazy.
eat anything. I know, it's too bad. Huh?
I could see that happening, though. It's
Yeah,
just
for
like,
sure.
my wife's not here. I ain't going to eat that.
This one's cool. I heard of this. 1978.
My dad would probably, that's probably what would happen to my
know.
dad. He didn't know how to do anything. 'Cause
Yeah. Georgy Markov. He's a Bulgarian dissident writer. Yeah. Was assassinated on a London street via a micro-engineered pellet containing ricin fired into his
Holy
leg
crap.
from an umbrella wielded by someone associated with the Bulgarian Secret Service. How cool is that? So they had an umbrella
like
that shot a pellet containing ricin, and he died.
wow.
That's like James Bond,
That
like
is-
in
yeah.
real life.
Inspector Gadget and
Yeah.
stuff too.
I know, yeah, he's got a. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
It's pretty cool, huh? How about January 1979? Robert Williams, first dude to be killed by a robot
Really?
ever. He's worked at the Ford plant, and they had a robot that did a bunch of stuff. The freaking arm came over, knocked him in the head, fell over, died.
Wow.
I know. First dude
I'm
ever
actually
killed by a robot,
surprised.
though.
And that was how it was. It didn't like
Like,
rip him in
pull him
half.
apart, try and like solder him to an engine or something. No, just hit him right in the head.
Just like pushed him down, like
Yeah.
stapled him into the car.
yeah,
He's still in there.
yeah. It's like a windshield thing. Puts him in there instead of the windshield. Who knows?
Do you remember on what's the one with Tom Cruise that he goes like he can read the time, or they're like looking at murders before they happen?
Minority Report?
Remember he gets like
Oh,
in
yeah.
that assembly line.
That's
he gets like
right, he
stacked
does,
into
huh?
that car.
Yeah.
Or like I was like, how did he live that?
Steven Spielberg.
It was
film.
fake anyway.
Yeah,
but-
it was real. December
yeah,
1979.
that was a good movie.
John Bowen, 20 years old, from Nassau, New Hampshire. This is the crazy
Nassau?
Nassau.
Nassau.
He was fatally injured at the halftime show at Shea Stadium. You want to know how he got injured? He got hit by a 40-pound model plane shaped like a lawnmower.
Oh, I'd heard about that one.
Yeah. Died 4 days later. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Why do you have
I
a model
actually have
plane
another one of those.
that looks like a lawnmower?
I've seen them. Yeah.
Why?
They look so weird.
Doesn't make
That's it.
any
I
sense.
just wanted to look cool.
Got hit by it, died. That is freaking too bad, man.
Well, yeah, it's not supposed to fly.
I know. March 1980, Monica Meyer. She's the mayor of Betterton, Maryland. Just doing her thing. Mayor stuff, right? She was carrying out maintenance work. Apparently, she worked at the sewage plant,
Now
too.
that's a mayor.
She was a mayor, also worked at the sewage plant.
That's awesome.
And so, according to the Lawrence Journal World, Myers fell 4 feet from the catwalks into a 15-foot aeration tank filled with human waste.
Man, how many people have died in
Had the consistency of putty. Poopy putty.
Ugh.
Yeah, her body was found floating face down by the town engineer the next day.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna have another mayor. New election coming up. No, that's heartless.
None
ain't
are
it?
gonna be as good as her.
Nah, she took all our crap.
She did.
She did.
In every way.
Every-
Died in it too.
Yeah, February 1982. David Grundman. Dude was out just hanging out in the desert, Arizona, doing desert stuff. What do you do when you're in the desert? You get out your gun and you shoot at cactus. Okay? That's what you do. Unfortunately,
That sounds really fun.
Unfortunately, he was crushed when a 4-foot limb detached and fell on him and he died.
Jeez.
Yeah. Just don't get under the cactus
No.
when you're shooting it.
No.
That's too bad though, right? Have you ever been golfing and just gotten pissed off?
Isn't that part of golf?
That's part of golf. April 1982, Michael Scaglione. Scaglione.
Ah, Monsieur. Or not Monsieur. Be like, this is Scaglione.
What's that Scaglione? I'm gonna go do 18 rounds today.
I'm already pissed off.
Yeah. But anyways, he got pissed, right? Super pissed. Smashed his golf club into his golf cart. Came back, impacted him in the throat, severed his jugular, died on the
Like
spot.
it probably broke, and
Yeah.
then man,
It was the head, actually, the head that broke off.
calm down.
Yeah. I hate this stupid game.
That's it. That's my contribution to that joke.
family. That's all you get. Huh? September 1983. Old Dick Wertheim. Wertheim. He's a tennis linesman, like a ball boy,
Oh, okay.
right? And ball boy is definitely the right word for this because he got hit by a tennis ball right in the dick. Just hit him super hard. And because of that, he fell out of his chair, struck his head on the court, died. Right
Wow.
there.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
That's
don't ever say tennis ain't dangerous. Because it is.
yeah.
November 1983. Oh man, this guy, Jimmy Ferrazzo. Oh, he was a bouncer at the Condor Club in San Francisco.
Sound freaking
Dude, just having
tough.
the time of his life. And I can't even tell you, he had the best job in the world.
Yeah.
This is the job to have. So they had this thing where they had a grand piano and they would lower it from the ceiling by a hydraulic
okay.
motor.
There, it's already.
But the coolest thing about it is he was on top of that thing having sex with his girlfriend during this show. So he was on the grand piano, going at it with his girlfriend. It's coming down. And then also it goes back up. But he didn't get out of the way. He got pinned up there, suffocated, died.
Best night, worst night.
Best night, worst night. One of those situations, right? So that's crazy.
That is nuts.
Yeah, it's super nuts. August 1987. Paul G. Thomas, 47. This guy, he had everything going for him. He owned a wool mill in Thompson, Connecticut.
yeah.
It's like, I own a
Rolling in it.
wool mill. Yeah. That's what I've been doing with my life. You know, got a wool mill. So they had these big machines that wound yarn.
Yeah.
Fell into the machine, wrapped by approximately 800 yards of yarn, suffocated, and died.
It's like that yarn that's got a big old lump.
Yeah.
Like, should we sell that roll?
What's going on with that? Yeah, so he died in the yarn.
Ugh, that's bad.
That is bad. It's too bad, huh? January 1996.
Ruined all that yarn.
Yeah. Mark Gleason, he had this problem, dude. He didn't sleep well because he snored so much, right? Like a lot of people have this problem.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
He's from Headley Down, New Hampshire. That's a town, apparently. Headley Down. Keep your Headley down, New Hampshire. That's quite the name.
Headley down, thumbs up.
If you're playing 7-Up.
My jokes are going nowhere.
Yeah,
today.
so he wanted to cure his snoring. So I was like, how am I going to do this? Well,
Put my Headley down.
Put my Headley down. Maybe I won't do it. Mark goes, you know what? I think my wife's got these tampons. I'm just going to stick them up my nose. You know what
Have we not talked about this?
It makes sense, right? So he gets a couple of tampons, sticks them up his nose. He's like, I'm sleeping tonight, come hell or high water. Took a bunch of sleeping pills. He died. He suffocated himself with those tampons in his nose. Poor dude.
He must have had some pretty bad, like,
Yeah, it
sleep
must have been
apnea.
real bad. Jonathan Capewell, 16-year-old from Oldham, England, 1998. He was really obsessed with smelling good and like being clean, right? So like you remember back in the 90s how those like spray deodorants were like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? Dude would just use these things all day long. He'd like go through a whole thing a day, right? Freaking died of a heart attack because of the buildup of butane and propane from the deodorant sprays.
He was soaking in it.
Yeah. So he died
He's
from
like,
it.
in his bathtub.
Uh-huh. So
That's
anyways,
crazy.
That's too bad, huh? So that's up to the 90s. Now we're in the 2000s.
All right. Getting close to
Yeah.
stuff we
Modern
should know.
times,
we should
yeah.
know. Burned brands. Brands? Burned brands.
Burned brands.
Sounds like a nice brand.
Yeah, it does.
Burned Jurgen Brands was a voluntary slaughtered and eaten. It was voluntary slaughtered and eaten by Armin Mewes.
I don't
Following
know.
an
I don't know
appointment via
anything you're
internet.
saying.
I don't know either. At his request, Mewes. This is the guy's name.
Okay.
First amputated his penis and unsuccessfully tried to eat it.
So he got it amputated.
So these two met.
See, wait.
They talked on the internet, and he's like, "I'm gonna meet up with you. I want you to eat me." So
You want-
first,
Okay.
they amputated his penis,
Yeah.
and I don't even know if he was dead at that time because it says they unsuccessfully tried to eat it.
Okay.
Both of
they
them
were
were
both
like,
they were both gonna have a bite.
I don't like that part. He taped the entire amputation and killing and conserved
Oh
and
my gosh.
and ate Brand's meat. May was
Oh,
eventually arrested and sentenced to
meat.
life in prison.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, dude.
he became a vegetarian during his prison
Oh
sentence.
yeah, you would think that eating
He's like, that dong
that this
just made me
That was
not
it.
want any more meat.
just give me salad from now on.
Yeah.
I don't want any of that.
Oh my
stuff.
gosh, that one, I was like,
That's horrible.
I didn't even hear about that.
No.
Roger Wallace.
Yeah.
You know, I was into flying like RC planes in high school. It went terrible.
I loved
crashed
RC
like a-
Cola.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I'm talking about planes.
Okay, planes.
Anyways, he was an enthusiast. He went and was flying in Tucson, Arizona, May 2002. Lost sight in the bright sunlight, and he's like, "Where is it?" Full throttle into his chest.
Oh my gosh.
And it killed him on the spot.
That's
Pretty
too
sad.
bad, man.
Yeah. Last flight.
Yeah.
Philip Quinn, 2004, Kent, Washington. Just hanging out in his trailer.
Okay.
Decided, I'm going to heat this lava lamp on the stove.
Oh my gosh.
So he's just letting it boil, and
That
and
is
it
a bad idea.
exploded, and the glass went into his chest. Didn't kill him, They found him. He went to bed and he
He
bled
just
out.
went to bed?
It's like, I shouldn't have done that. I won't go to bed.
I'm going to sleep this off.
So he
It's the worst
found
thing I've
in
ever...
his bed, bled to death because
gosh.
it pierced like near his heart. Francis Daniel Brom decided to drive home drunk with his friend who was hanging out the window
Oh, gosh.
of the passenger side while vomiting. He's car sick
Oh,
because
sure.
he'd been drinking. Hutcherson, so Brom was the guy that was the
Yeah.
passenger, sorry. Hutcherson was driving, drove off the road and sideswiped a telephone pole and
That's the-
support wire, decapitating his head.
That's the plot to
Is
that
it?
movie.
Isn't it on a movie?
It's a horror movie. It was filmed in Utah. What the crap is that? You know, you've probably never seen
The
it.
Dove one?
No, it's not the Dove one. But his like little sister's in the back, and he's riding, and she like puts her head out, and she hits like a telephone pole
No, no,
or something.
I haven't seen
yeah,
that. Oh,
and it
never heard of
decapitates
that.
her.
Oh, jeez.
It's like
no.
the exact same thing.
Well, that's a horrible story if it's your sibling.
Yeah, what the heck's
He
that
continued
called?
to-
Hereditary. That's what it's called.
Oh, no. I haven't heard of that.
It's like one of the best. That's a good horror movie.
Is it
Holy
really?
crap, yeah, really good.
He continued the final 12 miles, got home in Atlanta, Georgia, parked,
Oh,
went
he
to
just
bed,
kept going.
went to bed.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't even check on him.
Yeah.
The neighbor found Brom's headless body just sitting outside the truck,
Oh gosh.
like just hanging out
Yeah.
where he was puking and got his head chopped off.
Knock on the door. You know you got a headless body in your car?
Good night, boys, huh? You guys get crazy.
You guys went out drinking, didn't you?
All right, you'll like this one.
'Kay.
Kenneth Pinion,
Okay.
July 2005. He's totally into horses.
Yeah, horses
Like,
are great.
Very into
I
horses.
love horses.
He liked them so much he decided to have sex with one
That's
and film it with one of his buddies.
That's the ultimate goal
Yeah.
with these horse enthusiasts. I think.
Pinion, an engineer, and Tate, a truck driver, filmed and distributed zoophilic pornography.
Oh, okay.
One of them was a Pinion receiving anal sex from a stallion.
Oh my gosh.
Under the name alias or the alias Mr. Hands.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard about
After
this.
engaging in activity on multiple occasions over an unknown span of time, he received fatal injuries after one incident. This particular night, the horse was just not really receptive.
Sure.
Pinion Tate and the third unidentified man snuck into the barn of Southeast 44th Street Farm. I'm going to find out where that is.
Yeah.
Either Pinion or an unidentified man recorded Tate being anally penetrated by the stallion, the men referred to as Big Dick.
Oh yeah. That's a great name.
It's not even
Great
like
job,
no
guys.
creativity
Yeah.
there. Hey, call him Big Dick.
I want to put Big Dick on a title.
I can't believe this. After finishing, Tate then filmed Pinion being penetrated by
my
the same
gosh.
horse. During this incident, he sustained internal injuries, including a perforated colon.
Yeah, that would happen.
These two men dropped him off at the community hospital and left him. Medical staff examined, found him in the examination room dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Big
They
Dick
kind of
got him
got what
good.
they kind of got what they deserved there.
Yeah, they
a little
did.
bit.
I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Lydia Tiskova,
Mm-hmm.
2008, Bulgarian teacher and her husband poured chemical waste down the drain cover, and they'd been doing it for quite a while in Bulgaria.
Okay.
And one night, when they poured it down, chemical reacted with gases in the sewer and caused an explosion.
Oh. This is like a
Yeah,
Christmas
the drain
vacation
cover
scenario.
decapitated
Oh my
Tiskova
gosh.
and the blast injured her husband and their friend. So
oh my god.
don't pour stuff down the drain.
That's
man.
why you don't do it.
Oh, say.
Exactly.
What is that? What does he say?
I don't know.
The little old man. It's like the sewage or like
Yeah, what does he say?
I can't remember what he says. Dang it.
I just
I don't know what he says.
The blessing.
Yeah.
That's what I always remember with him.
Anyway, Judy K. Zoskorsky, enjoying her day along the beach, having a gale time. She was walking with a friend. A 75-pound spotted eagle ray. That's not a bird. That's a stingray.
Oh.
Leapt out of the water, knocked her over, causing cerebral hemorrhage.
What?
She and the stingray both died.
How? What?
I was like, 75-pound stingray like launched out of the water, hit her, and it caused her to have a brain.
I hate the
bleed.
ocean.
I know, man.
It's a horrible
Yeah.
place. to
Even when I'm
be.
wading in there, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get stung by something.
This is a bad place to be.
bit, or I'm gonna contract some weird disease.
You're not. Humans
and then
aren't
when you're on the
supposed to be
coast,
there.
you can die too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh.
Adelir Antonio De Carli,
Hello.
April 2008, Brazilian Catholic priest and skydiver.
Yeah.
They
it
go
makes
together.
sense. Yeah.
Undertook a cluster balloon flight on April 2008. His intention was to break the previous endurance record for ballooning to raise funds for charity.
Yeah.
Anyways, they lost contact with him and found half of his body floating in the ocean 7 weeks later.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what happened, but it didn't go well.
Yeah, nothing went right in that flight.
David File, pedophile. David File, pedophile. How you doing?
How you doing?
50-year-old last resident on the block. Last resident in a block of flats due to be demolished in Southampton, England.
Sure.
He decapitated himself with a chainsaw
What?
to highlight the injustice of being forced to move out of
That
it.
feels like a way
How?
overreaction.
How?
It's an overreaction. Well, he could have just like got it started, put it down, and fell on it.
That's true. But I was like,
Yeah.
that is something.
Yeah, you went too far, bro.
Yeah.
Like, write a letter to somebody.
Yeah.
You know, that it's just not needed.
October 2008, 43-year-old Irish woman died of an anaphylactic allergic reaction after having sex with a German Shepherd.
Okay. She deserved it.
Yeah. Its owner, Sean McDonnell, and the woman met in an
Old
internet chat
McDonald
room
had a dog.
for bestiality.
Yeah.
McDonnell was prosecuted and added to the sex offender list. The dog was later euthanized.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I know. And the last one, Vladimir Lekonos. You probably have heard this one.
Okay.
25-year-old student of Kiev Polytech Institute had a habit of dipping his chewing gum in citric acid. He loved the sour taste. So he would be like,
Yeah.
and he'd just keep dipping his gum in it. For some reason, he had a bunch of powder on his desk, including highly explosive one that was strong. It's said to be 4 times stronger than TNT.
Oh.
He'd dipping his gum in it, and when he bit and it reacted with the saliva,
Blew up. Oh my gosh.
I actually saw this one on 1,000 Ways to Die on Spike TV, and I'm like, there's no way that's real. Yeah, apparently that did happen.
Gosh, man. That's not the kind of powder you want to be ingesting.
Who just has
But-
powder laying around on their desk?
The good kind of powder is Element.
Oh, that was good. That
You know
was
what I mean?
Perfect timing.
So if you didn't know, electrolyte deficiency or imbalances, they can cause headaches, cramps, fatigue, weakness.
All day long.
Yeah, and as people who want to be prepared and ready for anything, the last thing you need is something that will slow you down when you need to be ready the most. That's why we at Casual Preppers have teamed up with Element. It is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing that you don't. Okay? We think Element is perfect for bug out bags and EDC kits.
Dipping your gum in.
Dip your gum in there. That's totally fine because it contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio: 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium. Just that sweet spot.
Just
You know what I
a sweet
mean?
spot.
Yeah, Casual Preppers listeners, you can get a free Element sample pack when you make any purchase through our exclusive link. The sample pack has one of every flavor. That's a great deal.
It really is.
They also offer no questions asked refunds on all orders. You don't even have to send it back. Beat that. Good luck. The cool thing is, too, is you can get it the first time you order, the second time you order, or the 100th time you order. But you got to continue using the link that we have. You can't get it anywhere else. Head to drinkelement.com/casualpreppers or just click the link in the show notes or our bio and all that stuff. That is drinklmnt.com/casualpreppers.
Man, it's weird. Weirdly enough, it's all salt, right? No
Yeah.
sugar.
No
I
sugar.
like to have it with a meal.
It's so
Sometimes
good.
it's so
Yeah.
weird. It tastes sweet though.
I know it
Well, I don't
does.
know what it is.
It's
It
so
plays with
good.
your mind. It's so good.
So good. Let's go to the 2010s. How about August 2010? 20 passengers and a crew of a LET L410 turbolet. It's
Oh, yeah,
some
yeah,
sort
it's
of
a good one.
Some sort of a plane. They were killed in a crash that resulted from an escaped crocodile in the plane. Dude, the animal was smuggled aboard by a passenger, but it escaped mid-flight. Panicked all the passengers. They surged forward, unbalancing the plane, and went down. Yeah, a crocodile in a
Oh Gosh,
plane.
I can't believe that.
Can you believe that?
Must not be too big.
Yeah, it must have been a smaller one, but still,
Or a
that's
big crocodile.
This is a big old crocodile. Like, who tries to get a crocodile on a plane? Like,
These guys.
yeah, it's ridiculous. 2011, this dude, Jose Luis Ochoa, 35, having a night of his life, went to a cockfight, right? Freaking cockfight. Unfortunately, one of those birds got a little nuts, and this bird had one of those razor blades connected to its spur, got him on the leg, died.
I've heard those are freaking nasty.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate for him,
That
right?
is unfortunate.
Yeah. September of 2011. This is September 10th, 2011. This dude, Brian Depledge, 38. He was home alone. He was doing the laundry. You've ever seen a clothes horse? Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Those things that they're like look all funky, look like an IKEA something,
They do.
right? The drying rack. He tripped, fell into that thing, and it choked him to death.
Oh,
He kept trying to get out, and it just kept getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Yeah, like I don't know how he
dried
did it.
him out. Probably tanned his hide and
Tanned
everything.
his hide, yeah. So that sucks, dude.
That does suck.
Some guy said it's probably rarer than being struck by lightning or a meteorite.
Can't decide if it's better to be like to die one of these weird, like
know,
unique,
man.
or just be like,
Yeah.
I died in a car accident.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go to September of 2012. We all talk about the geese. They're scary, right? But what about a swan? You ever been scared of a swan?
Mm.
Have you?
They are. They're freaky, man.
Anthony Hensley,
Honk
37.
at you.
Yeah.
Hiss.
Yeah. He was out on his kayak going across this pond. He was getting close to a swan nest, and this swan lost its crap. Got him off of his kayak, wouldn't let him back in. Dude drowned.
That's a jerkish move.
I know, it really is not cool. September 2012, Ilda Vitor Maciel, 88. She was in the hospital, Rio de Janeiro. Nurse was giving her some stuff for a feeding tube, right? Like soup. Put it in the wrong tube. Put soup in her veins. She died. Died from Campbell's. You know? This is too bad.
It tastes like tomato. Dead.
I hate tomatoes. Goes out like a light.
Chicken and donuts. I've got to
Chunky.
taste like clam chowder.
Something stewy in here. What is that?
That's pretty.
I know.
That's a big mistake.
That's too bad, huh?
I don't know why it's not going down.
I would go in 2013. This dude's name is Takuya Nagaya, 23, from Japan.
Cool name.
Yeah, he's real cool. But he had a weird thing where he was pretending like he was a snake. He was on the floor slithering around like
I'm a snake.
I'm a snake. My name's Takuya. I'm the snake. Okay.
I'm a snake.
His dad did not approve of this, obviously. Stop it. Get off the ground.
I'm not a propensity snake.
Get off the ground. So yeah, there's so much here that I just don't. But so his dad's like, I gotta get rid of this snake
Kid.
thing. The snake kid's pissing me off. So he's like, he's figured he was possessed. So to drive out that possession, he started headbutting him and biting him. Obviously. That's how you
It's
get
the
rid of
first thing. No
Yeah.
wonder my kids aren't disciplined enough.
I know.
I need to freaking head.
just headbutt after headbutt after headbutt after bite after bite after
Yeah,
bite.
You like this?
You are a snake still? Huh?
You go train hard.
You are not a snake anymore. And he died.
And we're in trouble.
He died. I know. He died because of all the headbutts.
I'm sure. Headbutts,
Oh
man.
my gosh. That's too bad. 2013, an unnamed Belarusian fisherman, 60. He saw this beaver, right? What do you do when you see a beaver?
Well,
What do you... This is a beaver, an animal. Okay, he's an animal. What are you going to do if you see a beaver out in the wild? Huh?
well, we saw one.
We did see one. But what would you do?
Try and take a picture of it.
Yeah, but he wanted even better. He wanted a selfie with it. Okay. He needed a
You want
selfie.
those big old teeth.
Yeah. So he grabbed that sucker under the arm.
did catch it?
He got it, and the thing bit him, and
I'm
he
sure.
bled to death.
I'm sure.
So,
Shouldn't bite. It
Ah.
only eats wood.
yeah, I ain't wood. I ain't wood. So, yeah, bled
Well,
to death.
you ain't
Trying
gonna
to
like
get a
me. I'm flesh and blood.
selfie with a beaver.
Well, that'll do it to you.
2013, Joa Maria de Souza, 45, hanging out in her house. It's a guy actually hanging out at his home in Caratinga, Minas Gerais in Brazil.
I was gonna say
So
the
this-
name sounded kind
You
of Brazilian.
probably could read this way better than I am. He had a cow, right? And the cow had climbed up on top of the house from a steep hillside behind it. Cow fell
freaking
through
cows.
fell through the roof and killed him on his bed.
Oh my god. That's a horrible
Can you believe it?
freaking cow. He gets up on everything.
Hate that cow.
Been up on the shelves. He's on the fridge.
One day we eating hamburgers, but right now I need him. And he fell through the roof.
Oh man,
Killed him.
that's crazy.
So, you ever heard of an atomic wedgie?
Yes,
You know what an atomic wedgie is?
I'm trying to think. Isn't it like?
So that's where they pull it all the way up over your head.
Yeah,
They pull your
okay.
underwear all the way up. It's like, it's humiliating. You don't want that to happen. Mr. Denver Lee St. Clair, 58. He was in a fight with his stepson. Okay? He got knocked unconscious, and his stepson gave him an atomic wedgie while he was unconscious. To add insult to injury, pulled his underwear all the way over his head. Atomic wedgie. The thing went around his neck, strangled him, and he died. Can you believe his stepson was sentenced to 30 years in prison for killing his stepdad by an atomic wedgie?
Man, that is the ultimate atomic wedgie.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta be
Smell that
careful.
poo on the back.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Choked to death.
2015, Stephen Wojtak, 74. He was out decorating his family's grave plot in Pennsylvania for Easter with his wife. Hanging around, his tombstone from his mother-in-law toppled over, pinned him underneath, crushed him to death. His mother-in-law's tombstone. I get him in my death.
She's like, come on,
Yeah.
it's got to
She
go.
pushes it.
Like,
He was buried in a plot directly in front of the tombstone that killed him.
wow.
They didn't even have to go that far. Just dug the grave, put him in there. Gosh. So, have you ever just had like a nice day at the beach? It's nice to go out to the beach once in a
Now
while.
I'm terrified.
Yeah, but sometimes the winds pick up, right? Like it can get windy out there
Always.
at the beach. Lottie Michelle Belk, 55, she was at the beach and it started getting windy. She's like, I probably ought to get out of here. Pretty windy. Unfortunately, she didn't get out of there quick enough because a beach umbrella got picked up
Oh my gosh.
right through her, killed her.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Too bad, huh?
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
August 2016, you ever had a hickey? You ever got a hickey when you were young? Never had one.
No.
That's too bad. I've had one before.
Yeah.
I've had a hickey. You know, they're kind of embarrassing. They're also kind of a badge of honor. They also can kill you. Julio Marcias Gonzalez, 17, Mexico City, died from cerebrovascular accident caused by embolus formed on a neck hickey.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's some power sucking there.
Yeah, that girl or guy, I guess, really.
Put a claw in his neck,
Yeah.
basically. Holy
Isn't
crap.
that crazy? That's pretty nuts. Yeah. This girl's name is Jasmine Beaver. Beever. 16, lived in England. Died of peritonitis brought about by Rapunzel syndrome. You
What's
know what that
Rapunzel
is?
syndrome?
She had a long-time habit of chewing and swallowing her own hair,
Oh my gosh.
which formed a hairball in her stomach and died.
I think we've heard about that one
I
at
don't
some
know.
point, but
Seems like a bad idea to eat your own hair, if you
Ugh,
ask me.
yuck.
Have you ever heard what an airing cupboard? It's kind of like a.
I haven't heard of one.
It's just basically
Is it
like
airtight?
well, not. I mean, sort of, but it's just
Could
like
be.
it's like they put like china in it. It's kind of like a hutch
Oh, okay.
type thing, but it's a cupboard. Elizabeth Isherwood, 60. She was walking around naked in her house for some reason. Got into the airing cupboard at the villa she was renting, and she shut the door. I don't know why she did this, but when she tried to leave, part of the door handle broke off in her hand. Okay, she dug into the wall in an attempt to escape, like behind her. But she burst a pipe while she was doing that, which sprayed water into the cupboard and
filled it?
caused her death by hypothermia inside that cupboard.
If anyone was meant to die,
That it's like a Final Destination.
some of them are just,
like,
that's exactly
you know what I
it
mean?
sounds like.
Like
a Final
crazy
Destination
stuff.
death.
Yeah, isn't that ridiculous?
That is ridiculous.
November 2017, Cam likes this one. Alexander Sasha Chechik of Labinsk, Russia, sent his friend a photograph. This photograph
Oh,
was
yeah,
of
yeah.
a grenade with the pin pulled on a Russian social media service VK. He died shortly after that when the grenade exploded.
It wasn't a fake one.
No, it was real. Pretty stupid. Dumb
At least
Russian.
he got that picture.
Yeah. This guy,
Is that the picture that they showed like at his funeral?
Yeah, I think so. Just of that, yeah. Last picture he took. Grenade.
That grenade.
Grenade that killed him. Rajesh Maru, 32. He was at the Nair Hospital in Mumbai. He had one of those big metal oxygen tanks, you know? He went into the room with the MRI scanner. The magnetic
yep.
field pulled him in with the tank, which pinned his hand and released the liquid oxygen.
Oh my god.
He died of pneumothorax from inhaling liquid oxygen.
Holy crap. There was a couple of the MRI accidents. They're
that's
no
crazy.
joke.
So that's up to 2020. Now we're at 2020.
Yeah. All right. Valentin Didenko and Natalie Monokova and Yuri Alferos. Sounds like I'm reading that book you gave us.
I know him.
It was Natalia's birthday, and Valentin and his friend, they were like, you know what would be super sweet is if we throw some dry ice into the sauna pool.
Oh my gosh.
Just like
Yeah.
steamy and hot and
getting nuts.
sexy, and this would be awesome.
Yeah.
Which resulted in a large amount of carbon dioxide being released.
Oh my gosh.
All three of them jumped into the pool, and they quickly lost consciousness and drowned
Oh my gosh.
because of all that. Have you ever, I remember making root beer and you breathe over it.
Yeah,
Or,
it feels weird, right?
You're like, oh, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they did
Not
it.
smart.
They did it. Johannes Budi Santoso.
Budi? My middle name is Budi.
June 2020. Was strangled in the middle of the road while riding his motorcycle in Indonesia. He wasn't strangled by a robber or, something like that. A very thin glass-like kite line had been stuck in the nearby electric pole, struck him in the neck when he was riding by on his motorcycle and cut his carotid artery.
Oh my gosh.
And he strangled to death too and bled out.
That's sucky.
Yeah, he was going to die no matter what. August Rachmund, October 2020, died while jogging around his neighborhood after a homemade kite spool made of a block of wood slipped out of a kid's hand and catapulted across, hit him in the temple.
Holy
Killed
jeez.
him. Yeah.
Man.
I'm a kite. It's like a boing.
Oh, sorry.
Killed him.
Yeah.
Body of a 39-year-old man was found wedged inside the hind end of a stegosaurus in the town of Santa Coloma de Gramenet in Spain.
They just have a stegosaurus hanging around?
Yeah. The police reports didn't suspect foul play. A kid actually recognized. That ain't supposed to be in there.
I've never seen a stegosaurus with that.
Yeah. There was an awful smell coming out of it.
Oh.
And when they looked inside, he had put his hand in and dropped his he dropped his phone, and he tried to crawl inside it, but couldn't get back out, and basically roasted in there in the sun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Salman Mirza, an Indian man in Ahmedabad, died. I got that right. Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad. I got it right.
Good job.
Died after using epoxy resin as a contraceptive instead of condom.
What?
Yeah. While intoxicated from using the same resin as an inhalant. So he's like, I want to sniff this. I might as well just use it to not get this girl pregnant. He was found unconscious outside a hotel the following morning, but died of multiple organ failure.
That's bad news.
I'm trying to figure out how exactly he was using it.
What
Is
was
he
he-
like, I'm going to just,
Spread it over the...
my whole wiener's going to
Yeah.
be covered in epoxy.
Seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, it does.
Obviously.
And he was sniffing it. So.
Yeah.
Tony Isles died at McDonald's drive-thru in Vancouver, Canada. Going to get his meal, reached to pay for it, dropped his card. He's like, oh, that's fine. Let's open the door a little bit. I'll grab the card. And as he stepped out of his car, it rolled forward and it hit one of those little protector, the blocks that kind of keep you from hitting the building, pinned him, and he died right there.
Oh my God.
That's horrible.
Person behind him probably like honking like crazy. I don't need my nuggets.
Seriously.
Guaranteed that's what was happening.
This is ridiculous.
I hate McDonald's.
1-star McDonald's.
Yeah.
30-year-old Brazilian man, this guy was meant to die,
Yeah.
was fishing with two friends in the lake of Brasilândia de Minas in Brazil when a group, they were attacked by bees.
Oh.
His friends jumped into the lake to escape the bees, but one of them drowned and then was partially eaten by piranhas.
Oh my gosh.
He was meant to die.
Yeah, dude was going to die no matter what.
Thomas Anthony Mansfield, sounds like a nice name, 29-year-old personal trainer from Wales, died after consuming too much caffeine. You want to know what too much caffeine is? He was using his scale, which he was using to measure the powder. He's just going straight for it.
Just like
He's like, I'm
caffeine
not going
powder.
to have it like mixed. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like He could only weigh between 2,000 milligrams, 2 grams, and 5 grams, causing him to miscalculate and ingest an equivalent of 200 cups of coffee.
Oh my gosh.
Shortly after he drank this, he complained his heart was beating too fast, foaming at the mouth later, and had a seizure and died.
That would do it.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder how many, probably like 5 grams of caffeine.
Yeah, that's crazy.
2022, 28-year-old man, Rancho Bernardo of San Diego, California, believed he had been using, he was using a knife to mix protein powder while he was driving.
Mm-hmm.
He lost control, crashed, and the airbag had propelled the knife through his neck and causing fatal injuries.
Stay classy, San Diego.
I believe it means whales. August 2022, 65-year-old man was attending in the Netherlands the Highland Games.
Oh.
And a lot of times, they're like doing all these like power throws, throwing hammers.
Sure.
One of the contestants lost control, slipped out of his hand. The metal ball and stick attached to it flew over the hedge and struck a man in the head, killing him.
Oh, that's too bad.
That would kill
Dangerous.
You. That would kill you. Joseph Austin Smith was killed in a pickup truck while hunting. In the back seat of his car, he had his rifle loaded, and his dog. His dog had stepped on it just right and caused it to fire through the back of the seat, killing him. That's crazy to me.
It's just dumb too.
Yeah, it
It's
is
just,
dumb. Leandro Mateus de Novais, 40-year-old, an activist and for the right to keep and bear arms in Brazil. Just like here. He wanted it, and so to prove so, he had a gun with him at all times on his belt. He was taking care of his mom, who had an MRI. He stepped into the room.
Oh, no.
And, the gun was affected by the magnet, and the trigger pulled, shooting him in the stomach.
Oh, my gosh.
And he was in the ICU for 6 days until he died. That's crazy.
So
MRI,
dumb.
man.
I know.
And Sharma, Shiv Dalaya Sharma, 82, was reportedly urinating next to a train track in the region of India, Alwar, India. Down the road, 100 feet from him, a cow walked across the train track, was hit by the train.
Oh, no.
And it was flung into him 100 feet and killed him on impact.
Flying cow.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I was like,
This is too bad.
oh, yeah. Last one, Giacomo Ciparini, 74, from Lombardy region of Italy. He was in a warehouse where he worked stacking blocks of cheese. Huge piece of cheese, like 40-kilogram piece of cheese.
Ooh, yeah.
To be purchased and rolled later in an event in
Yeah.
England.
Yeah, chased down the hill.
He died when the shelf in that warehouse broke, and he was crushed by multiple 40-ton rolls of cheese.
No way.
That would suck. Die by cheese.
Cheese
Many of
whiz.
us Americans are going to die by cheese.
In a different
but
way.
not in that
In
way.
a different way.
So
that's a lot of different deaths.
Man, that is a lot.
That's
of deaths.
nuts. Before we leave, we do have a battle box. We'll look at that very quickly.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, let's just look at it quickly before we get off. I know we're taking a lot of your guys' time today, so I apologize.
You're going to listen to half of this next Halloween.
In the basic box, we have the Mountain Ops Hydrate, the lemonade flavor. This is good.
tried
I
this.
already had some. It's
Oh, you
great.
did?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Didn't open my bag. Thank you.
Nope, you're welcome. Then we got the Field and Stream Total Camping Manual. I love these books, man.
Yeah,
They're
been
great
wanting
stuff.
to learn how to camp.
I can't figure it out.
It is.
Do I
I like those
do I
books
sit
too.
in a tent or do I not? I don't know.
Camp, go home, shower, don't camp again.
Then we have the Tree Free Fire. It's like a little
Don't
it's like
kill a tree.
Yeah, it's like a campfire in a can.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And we got the Uberleben.
That's a big candle. I wonder
know.
how long that burns.
Uberleben Kessel pot in the waxed canvas. This is a pretty cool pot, man. Great for
Looks
like a
like a
bug
little
bag.
mini Dutch oven when I thought.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Got a little.
Pro Box, we've got the Hybrid Light Atlas 600 lantern and the Journey 700 flashlight. You can
Man,
never get
I
enough
love
lighting.
this stuff. Seriously,
Yeah.
you can't. Love it.
And the Knife of the Month Pro Plus, we got the Holtzman Clip Pointing Folding Pocket Knife.
This is a really
It's a
nice
beastie.
little box too.
Yeah, it's a nice, great presentation.
Look at that.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Anyway.
Great stuff. Use our code Casual Preppers.
Yep.
Anything else, Cam?
No, that's it.
All right. Happy Halloween. Stay survived.